Just picture a awesome intro movie playing during that sequence that we don't quite have yet together because we don't have all our
characters coming out of the sea.
It'd be amazing. Hello, everyone. Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live-streamed Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition online role-playing adventures. I am joined, as always, by my wonderful friends. Chris, we don't know who you're playing yet, but hello.
No, you don't.
We'll find
Hello.
out. Heather will be joining us very soon. Raymond is here.
Yes.
Yes,
Hello.
he's here. And Reese.
I am back
Is
from
back.
summer vacation.
He has survived the summer. We stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday. Watch all of these sessions on the channel. Read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com and watch my behind-the-scenes No Players Allowed live series, Crafting the Deep, every Monday and Thursday. And by the way, I'm watching The Boys right now, and so I'm constantly having to think about that character on The Boys whenever I do Crafting the Deep. It gets weird.
The deep. It does get weird because that character gets weird.
Okay, yeah. Head on over to our live post-session discussion. Actually, we're not going to do, sorry, I'm reading it Anchorman style. We're not having a post-session chat tonight because session 0 is basically a chat anyway. It's pointless to do a chat about what we just chatted about. So our first post-session chat, which will be, I assume, chat from the deep, will be obviously next week following session 1. You can also listen to all these live D&D shows with the Rogue Watson podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can join our official Discord server with invite link into the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/roguewatson. Patrons get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, and participate in monthly DM roundtables and private patron D&D games. Shoutouts to new patrons this week. Patrick. For our campaign, we use Roll20.net video chat. We use Discord, and for streaming, I use OBS Studio. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our coming soon amazing original character art is done by Jimmy McClure. We'll introduce those next week during session 1. But for now, it is session 0, and we need to talk about who you all are going to play for this campaign.
Is that where we're starting?
Yeah, that's what we're going to start with. So in case you're new here, we are running a nautical campaign. It's been a while, guys.
We're all technically new here.
This is a campaign that combines Call from the Deep, which is our, for this group, our first non-official Wizards of the Coast published adventure. It's available on the DM's Guild by JVC Perry. And I'm combining that with Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is an official Wizards of the Coast published book, although that one is, I don't want to spoil anything about it, but it's more of a collection of classic modules than it is like a full-throated campaign, I guess. So my version will be kind of a combination of those two things, but certainly the sea is going to be a major part of that. Now, I've shared a player primer with my players, which
I'm just gonna open at a Discord. I'm just now seeing how Roll20 does PDFs, and
yeah.
I'm not caring for it. I can't quite see anything.
I've never actually experienced how this works.
There we go.
This is a recent thing. I think because with the recent the fact that you can get DM's Guild modules on Roll20, which is what I'm using right now.
Yeah.
You can add PDFs straight into the Roll20 journal. Okay. But yeah, obviously I've shared this to you outside of it, so you don't have to actually.
Yeah.
But for those of you watching us, you get to actually look at
this.
Here's
how you can see it.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you'll get with the Platinum patrons. Get access to all of my drive full of notes. So your introduction, again, this is all information I gave to the players. I don't know how long, maybe only like a week ago or something. I really should have given it earlier, but I was still getting it all done.
Would you like the receipts?
Yeah. When was it exactly? At least over a week, hopefully.
It was August 29th. So it was
okay.
a week and 2 days ago.
There you go. Plenty of time to come up with your brand new character concept.
Yeah.
So the introduction, which is partially pulled from Call from the Deep and kind of reorganized. The Sword Coast is where the continent of Faerun meets the Sea of Swords in the west. This coastline is populated by a wealth of different folk from the savage frontier in the north down to the nation of Om in the south. The coastline itself is perilous and changeable. In the north is the sea of moving ice, filled with great bergs that shatter the hulls of unwary ships. Fun fact, we were just up there for our previous campaign. Further south lie calmer waters and relatively friendly ports, such as Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate. Pirates from Luskan and the Northlander Isles roam the coast, targeting merchant galleys and bullying fishing boats. The seas, too, are cruel, harboring hideous monsters, tempestuous squalls, and unseen horrors in their depths. Many powerful forces have threatened the Sword Coast in recent years, from marauding giants to a death curse and the cult of elemental evil. Brave heroes have managed to restore peace to the region each time, but a new threat from beyond the sea may be the breaking point. So,
Yeah.
I hope some heroes show up.
I hope so.
It's not going to be
We need a
us.
hero. Several of them, in fact. Who wants to get started with talking about your character? Because this session, we literally need to have our characters built, done, slap a label on them. And I've got my own rules for crafting heroes that involve coming up with adjectives and quirks and all that fun stuff that I'm sure you all did a great job of making sure you've...
I did that. I'm pretty sure I did that.
Yeah,
Adjectives, huh?
watch the panic in all of their faces.
Let me see. Thesaurus.com. Hold on.
The Taurus describes an adjective as
I did my homework, so if you want me to go first so you two can scramble.
harried, anxious. Chris is, of course, the teacher's pet. He came with an entire binder of backstory and information.
Kind of. I can't help myself.
Well, that just means he's going to stand us up then.
I know.
Yeah,
Do we
exactly.
really want him to go first? That's the thing. I get it.
Yeah.
Reese, you look
If I'm
like
not
you
ready
might-
now, I'm not going to be ready later.
Hmm?
I'll be honest. This is as ready as I'm going to be.
I have a quirk. I know that.
You're going to start with the quirk.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
there was-
Reese,
yeah, there was
let's
the
start
quirk.
with your character.
Oh, good.
It's been the longest since we've seen
Racist.
you on the channel, so I'm going to put you on the spot. I assume the name
I'm
Reesington is canonical now.
yes, it is. I forgot to come up with a name until like 10 minutes ago before we started.
That's the best names, right?
That's
I was
the
like,
end
oh,
of
yeah.
name. Yeah.
I had 10 minutes of research.
I don't know what he's called.
So yeah, I have to stick with the T's at this point, right? So
Which somebody pointed that out in our Discord, and I'm not sure I even realized.
I never realized.
really,
I
Yeah.
know, I'm that stupid.
it was after I had Talos and then Tim, and then I was
Tim.
like, well, I guess it's a thing now.
Theron.
I'm stuck. I've done two.
Then Darren,
There,
Yeah.
yeah.
then
Thimbleweed.
Thimbleweed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, because you played Tim for the other one too, right?
Two
The
campaigns, yeah.
Lord of Lost Plant, yeah.
yeah.
You had to pick Tim because you had to pick your. Well, I guess they're all T, so you can pick any of them.
You can pick any
Yeah.
T's.
Any T, Texas T. So this time I'll be called Toril.
Toril.
I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
Cross that one off the list. Also, if anybody this is your last chance to give predictions. We've had a lot of predictions in our Call from the Deep channel. So almost none of them were correct, from what I can tell, which is fun in terms of predictions of what the
read
players.
out?
Some people that were getting close. I could see there were some like
there were some close
glimmers
ones.
of.
Yeah, there was some. close
Somebody
ones.
somebody in the chat called one earlier. I won't say who,
Ooh.
but yeah, somebody called one of them.
I'm not
Okay.
in that channel. Would you be able to share maybe like some of your favorites?
Somebody else will have to, because if I start rooting around the Discord, I'll fuck up my webcams. So I'm gonna rely on one of y'all.
I'll
to
just-
do that.
What is under?
If you
Like
look
the
at
call from the deep Discord.
Yeah, look at the
right?
call from the deep one. You might have to scroll up a little bit, but there was a couple
People
days
got
ago.
people got really into the theme.
Yeah,
Like they were really into like the pirate sea stuff. Like
that's true.
well-
like College of Swords Bard or Swashbuckler Rogue. Like they went a lot of the themes.
Path of the Storm Herald Barbarian.
Yeah,
There's a sea theme Paladinoth.
they called out
Somebody
for
said-
some of the.
Somebody said Gnome Artificer Battlesmith with jet skis, Steel Defenders.
That's so awesome.
I don't know if that's a thing.
A whole party of gnome artificers with jet skis.
Yeah, a lot of people were guessing some sort of swashbuckler rogue.
Yeah.
Tritons were guessed.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
sea,
tried
the
before.
actual sea rise.
been
yeah,
done.
yeah.
It's been done.
All rogue party got yelled a couple times.
All
Oh
rogue
boy.
party.
Wow, so a lot of people want to see a rogue, huh?
Raven's
like
like,
the
I changed my
rogue.
mind right now.
They like the rogue too.
I still have not been a rogue at all. I don't think.
Mm.
The last holdout.
Yeah.
Mm.
Rogues, everybody goes rogue at some point. Yeah, so with that, Reese, what will you be playing
I
in this
will be
campaign?
doing the other class I've never done as a warlock, and
Nice.
yeah, and I'm gonna try out the Fathomless warlock.
That is extremely
Yeah,
relevant.
that's
Yes.
thematic, and that's the one that somebody called out in the chat earlier. Somebody was like, "There
Yeah,
should be a Phantom with the Warlock." I'm like,
Yeah, I
"Yeah,
was
there should
waiting for
be."
that because that is a very relevant one.
yeah. I was going through there. I was like, well, if not now, then when? If not when,
Mm-hmm.
then who?
So Warlock we have not seen a whole lot of either. In fact, I think I'm the only one that's actually
Think
played
so.
Warlock.
And it was a multi-class. It was not a
Both
full
of
Warlock.
mine were multi-classes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you know how much I like the multi-class, so
right.
Yep.
And obviously Fathomless, yeah, they only added in Tasha, so that's a pretty recent one.
yeah.
Although I guess you're not actually
Currently,
Fathomless until, or when you get to pick yours at first level, don't you?
yeah, I get to
Hmm.
pick it. I don't get the pack stuff until level 3.
That's right. Okay, which is like you
So
can be the sword pact or the familiar pact or
yeah,
something.
it's at. Oh no, I get it first level. Never mind.
Now,
Create or destroy water.
when you were describing this in the chat race, the two things that really brought it together for me though were your race and your background. So
Oh yeah, the race is a big part of it.
Oh yeah, so I decided also to be a Kinku, Fathomless Warlock. So I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, it sounded cool.
Yeah.
The bird
Yeah.
folk. I like that you shared like artwork from Root, the board game.
Yes,
With
I
the
think
bird
those
folk on
guys are
that
pretty
one.
cool and a
Yeah.
little crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I was sort of hoping for my artwork. But yeah, I think they look neat. So I wanted to see one.
I want to be like them.
You
Yeah.
can summon a spectral tentacle at level 1. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Boy, this could have some very interesting ramifications for this campaign.
Yeah. He's gonna have a fisherman background, and then I think at level 3 is when you get the pact.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do the pact of the talisman and have a big talisman on there. So
Nice.
How does that
Yeah,
one work?
Also new stuff, yeah.
yeah. Should probably just like stop at Tasha and not read anything else. It's a let's see.
Oh, he also straight up get a swimming speed of 40 feet and can breathe underwater as a
Yes.
Fathomless Warlock.
That's
Damn.
yeah.
Talk about like, all right, I meet your campaign with this.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I thought it'd be good to have.
That's pretty solid
breathing.
choice.
I just the way when you were describing it, just the idea of just this like just bird man who's like a fisherman who like worships the deep sea gods or whatever
Right.
tentacle. It
Yeah.
works really well in my head. I like it.
Yeah. He's definitely like worshiping the tentacle god now. But yeah, the talisman. When I fail an ability check, I can add a D4 to the roll.
Mm.
And
Nice.
then
Okay.
I think later I can help other people with it.
Okay.
You're gonna care a lot about short rests all of a sudden as a warlock. Also,
I know.
I warn you.
Yes.
Guys, how about a short rest?
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you
It's
see
time
in my
for short
house
rest?
rules? I basically used the Baldur's Gate thing of like, you know what? Fuck it. Short rest take like no time at all. I don't care.
I want to talk about that when we get to talking about the rules because
Yeah.
I'm very curious about how mechanically you're gonna play that because
Yeah.
I feel like Baldur's Gate manages that by limiting
By
how many
limiting-
short rests you could do.
You know, you could, but Baldur's Gate also doesn't have hit dice or anything. So
That's true.
I feel like the mechanics
oh,
are
running
already
out of
kinda...
hit dice is going to be the.
Well, I think so, right? Because you're
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
only have
that's
so
fair,
many hit
that's fair.
points, and that's usually how you do short rest. I've never
Yeah.
seen us use more than like 3 short rests in an adventuring day.
Mhm.
I would be pretty shocked. So I don't think it would really ever come up in that case. But
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always fine with people short resting, like basically in any circumstance. I think that's why it's there. It's like you need that like quick recharge. So
Yep.
Yeah. Some sort of the spells I'm looking at sort of hedge bets on not getting too many short rests. Just trying to do
Yeah.
like, big and not like pure damage for the other
Mm.
spells I'm looking at. So
Oh, interesting. Get some utility in there or some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utility is always fun and different than just straight damage. So,
True.
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, he's gonna. Do we say like their background story right now, or?
Yeah. Sorry, I should go over. Yeah, definitely give me some background. Let's see, what's part of our stuff.
Yeah, you have a checklist. Like, what do we have to talk
Yeah,
about?
that's my checklist. So, so your literal background. You said are you like an acolyte or?
He became one. Like he grew up in a fishing village, and his brother was sort of like part of some kind of weird cult, and I was trying to get him in, trying to get a Toro into it also, but he was having none of it. So when his brother was leaving for not for good, but for a really long time, he gave him an amulet to protect him out at sea or out in the bay when he was fishing. And then a big tidal wave came and destroyed the fishing village.
Oh.
Saved, but then as Toro was drowning, he met the Fathomless guy because the amulet, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll follow you if you save my life," and became a follower of the Fathomless after that.
Nice.
And he saved him, destroyed the village. He's a very good god.
As long as you save me, we're cool.
I think I could work with that.
So now he's going around trying to convert and get more stuff for the Fathomless.
You're knocking on doors, like, sir.
I like that because a lot of times, a lot of warlock play I see is like people like kind of like reluctant, but I like the idea of like no, like I'm all in, like I'm worshiping this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I totally was gonna go like reluctant at first. I was like, nah, that's not as fun. That's not as fun.
Now, will you do the Kenku thing of because Kenkus cannot speak; they can only repeat. But the fun thing is, and what I've done in that one shots was, I can say, well, I can repeat anything he's ever heard, and so you can kind of say whatever you want because if he's heard it before, he can just repeat it, and they have that. Literally, it's an ability Kenkus have where they can repeat things in the exact like voice they've heard it.
Right. Yeah, I haven't totally decided on that right now. I was going to talk to you about that. I don't know if
I think it would be challenging to do it for a whole campaign, but I'd be with you either way. Or if you don't want to do that, I'm also totally fine with that because I know that makes it a whole tricky thing.
Yeah, you know how much I love to stick with accents.
I have fun with it, but again, I only do it for one shots for my dude, and it's pretty easy to just do it for that.
Yeah,
I feel like you could, if you wanted to walk around it though, you could just say like, "Hey, I spent a lot of time with one dude, and that one dude talks like this."
Yeah.
So this is my voice now.
The Fathomless gave him the gift of speech.
Oh, okay.
Or that.
Ooh, okay, that's actually a good angle. I like that. As long as you always worship me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have? You said you had a quirk. What's your quirk?
I forgot exactly what it is on your table, but it's like the religious zealot.
Okay.
Quirk. Always trying to like proselytize and get people to join. And
would you even be a little bit superstitious? Like everything, like especially if it has to do with the sea, would like everything be like, oh well, this is because we should thank the Fathomless for this bounty of wonderful...
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. Nothing
is coincidental.
Do you have 5 adjectives to describe your character?
No, I don't.
No. We'll come up with some. I mean, just from what you said, I mean, pious.
Yeah.
I guess. Seems like, would he be pretty outgoing with people?
Yeah, I'd say so. He'd be trying to get in there and start up the conversations.
Yeah. Maybe does he like to talk because he just had his voice unlocked? Just talkative, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the word for like somebody who like proselytizes? There's got to be an adjective for that. Like a preacher.
Yeah. Sort of... That's actually a good point. I don't know what the best adjective is for that. Somebody in chat will be able to help us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can come up with a good picture of this character. Are you in the Charactermancer right now? Can you roll us some
I am.
Add some stats, some attributes?
Yeah. So just use the Charactermancer.
Yeah, I think that's still the best way going forward. Which, by the way, I recently reviewed the Marvel RPG on Roll20, and they are also firing up a new character builder so that you can create characters outside of campaigns, and they're just directly added to your vault, and they use kind of their own little UI system that presumably would be similar to the character monster. It is not ready. From what I could tell, it's only just ready for Marvel for whatever reason, but you could see all the other ones were like coming soon. So maybe in the future you could make D&D characters like that, but for now it wasn't ready for 5e. So for now we'll make all the characters directly here with the character monster.
Okay. I see
Evangelistic is what or
evangelizer.
or zealot. Well, that's not an adjective, I suppose. It's a noun, but
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Isn't there also feet? Or are we doing that later?
I was gonna do feet. Yeah, we can talk about it now, or you can add it after you do your sheet. But if you had an idea for your first, which this is in our house rules, by the way, we started doing this. Gosh, I think was it just with rhyme maybe, or was it before that? Where the characters actually start off during character creation, they can select a free feat to kind of help further specialize and define their characters.
Yeah, I was gonna pick resilient. Sorry.
So is that just the plus hit point one?
Choked up there. Yeah, resilient, and instead of the starting Kinku stats of +2 dex and +1 wisdom, I was going to do +2 strength and +1 con, just because he's a fisherman and sort of out and about in the sea.
Okay.
And the resilient is just the +1 attribute and then the proficiency. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to choose Constitution to be proficient with spell saves and stuff. So
yeah, nice.
That's sort of the two min-maxing things I chose for this campaign was spell save or spell concentration save and breathing underwater. So
yeah, those are good ones. Those are really good ones.
So I see two Kinkus, the MMOM and the VG1. Do you know which one would be better to choose?
The MMOM one is going to be the better. That's the most recent one, I believe. That is Mordenkainen's Multiverse of Monsters, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Valos, which is the older one. So yeah, that's a good question to have. I don't know what all got changed, but there was a couple updates here and there but I do think that Mordenkainen's is the most recent.
Okay. Then, do we need to choose an alignment? I feel like we never follow any kind of...
Fun fact, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't give a fuck about alignment either.
I don't think it's in there. Yeah.
No, I mean, if you want to put alignment in there, that's fine. But honestly, just whatever RP we come up with is whatever it is. So I've always had... I think alignment is very useful shorthand for a DM when they're looking at the average creature stat block. But for players... No, you don't need to have a defined.
Hopefully the DM knows what kind of characters the players are playing.
And we've come a long way since early editions of D&D where it's like you had to be lawful to be a paladin, you had to be neutral to be a druid, and it just, for somebody like me who loves multi-class disasters, that was a pain in the ass to have all those kind of restrictions.
Warlock. Otherworldly patrons, the fathomless. Tentacles of the deep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And we want to roll for stats.
So our general house rule, and yeah, somebody asked about if I'm going to post the updated house rules. I will do that. Yes, you can roll. We in our house rules, you can always roll for your stats if they are less than the average array, which I believe is 72. If you add up all the numbers, then you can just choose to get the standard array and then apply your pluses to that.
Okay.
So essentially, you're just trying to get better than that. Let's see what he's got. Okay.
15's good.
This looks like it might be pretty close to average, maybe even a little above. It's hard to say. What's our math? Let's go to the board.
That's cool. To the board.
To the board. Let's see. 10 plus 9, 15, 8, 13.
He is lower than average.
That is lower than average. That's 67.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So
on the standard array is the highest of 15?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It didn't seem like it when you look at it, but yeah. Just a little
on the standard array, though, There's only one below 10, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm.
And then now you got 2 and then 110. Yeah.
Yep. So what you can do is, I think there's just a drop down for selecting standard array. I would do that.
okay. I'll do that.
And then you can apply your, or maybe it already applies it. Plus points to there.
And use it to pick your where they go.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I have those written down already.
And yeah, I guess we could always do point buy. We've never done it in our games, but I know a lot of video, and Baldur's Gate does them too. But I mean,
Point by, you end up not being able to get any higher than standard array, though, right? You can just sort of min max a little bit more.
I think you can
maybe?
slightly min max it more, but it doesn't really make much of a difference from what I can tell.
Yeah.
The wild variance you're going to get is if you just roll.
Right.
And currently, I don't know what the record is. If anybody's done kind of research, but I know Ray always tends to roll bonkers for not to put any pressure.
I don't remember last campaign, but I do remember the turtle from Tomb just rolling
fucking stacks.
phenomenally well.
I'd have to go back to session 0, honestly. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
maybe it's just, yeah. In the depths. Yeah, I thought
right.
everybody gets a +2 on something, a +1 on everything else.
I thought I put that in there, but it's not showing up on the thing.
Huh.
So when I go to it, there's
Under
3
raised.
under ability score increase. There's 3 drop downs. So I assume they just sort of divided
It
up
said,
into.
yeah, because it said 1 by 2 and 1 by 1 or 3 by 1. So I put strength and constitution, but I only put 1 in the strength.
I think what you're supposed to do is whatever one you want to, just put that one again on the 3rd drop down.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the way they're doing it.
Oh.
That makes
There's-
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And then spells, I'll be choosing the lightning lure for my first cantrip. Figured that was pretty thematic for a fisherman.
Yep, that's pretty
It does
good.
have lure in the name.
Yeah.
I love how like themed you're being. This is fantastic.
And I'll do the classic Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
hmm
And then for my first level spells, I'll be doing Arms of Hadar.
Okay, that's like tentacles lash out from you. Also
Yeah.
very thematic. Yeah.
Sort of like makes everyone miss their reactions. And Thunder Wave.
Nice.
Well,
Then-
Mister, I'm not going to take all damaging spells. I hate to tell you something, but
Yes.
that's
However, those spells also have secondary things in the area effect.
Like
They
debuff
move
stuff.
people around.
Yeah.
Because I don't have my tentacle to also help with that.
yeah.
I think.
You're also gonna make it so nobody wants to be anywhere fucking near you, though. Between
I
Arms of
know.
Hadar and Thunderwave,
I
It's just
know.
gonna be exploding around you. Now,
I also get a couple of Eldritch invocations at some point.
yes, in fact, I think you might be able to choose one at 2nd level. So finish the character monster. I don't know if you did it to where you level up to 1, or you went ahead and did it to 2.
You can't do it to 2. You have to just do
you
it
have to
and then
start
do it,
always
and
with
then,
1?
and then do plus
Do another
1.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you get to choose your first invocation at 2, but somebody in chat might
Okay.
remind me on that one.
I think that's right. At level 2, yeah. So for one of them, I'll be doing Repelling Blast, which enhances my Eldritch Blast.
Knockback.
Knockback.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so useful too.
And
Yeah, Brandon just called it. That's the best.
That's a
It's
good
the
one.
best. It's so funny because I remember going into, I played Warlock years ago, and I going into it, and you're like, well, yeah, how often do we need to just, move people 10 feet? That doesn't sound like that big of a deal. And then once you play like any amount of D&D, you're like, holy fuck, being able to knock anybody any distance is like amazing.
Mhm.
Especially when the DM keeps throwing all these hazards up everywhere.
Yeah.
and then
2 invocations too. Okay.
for right now, I'll do Agonizing Blast also.
Wow.
Which adds my charisma modifier to the damage
Yep.
too.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yep.
Yeah, get off my boat. Pew pew pew.
I feel
Yeah.
like we should flavor your Eldritch Blast as also a tentacle, like slapping people.
Yes.
just a tentacle comes out of his feathers or
'Cause
whatever.
we
It's
can
just-
100% do that, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
That's something that, spellcasters or whatever, be like, we should always reflavor our shit to whatever you want it to be. If mechanically it's the same, then I don't give a shit. Excellent, excellent, excellent. What else for? Do you have a connection? So this is a new thing I thought of for this campaign, mainly just to try to plug in some story hooks or deeper connections for you players. But I thought that ask that everyone create at least one named NPC or creature with a name with whom your player character has an important connection to, and in theory, this character should exist or was last seen somewhere in the Sword Coast or out at sea. Basically, give me a name of somebody you care about. Was it the brother or is it somebody else?
Yeah, be with the brother.
Do you have a name for this brother, or do you want to give me a name later?
I'll give you a name later.
Okay. Did this
Don't ask me
brother?
questions.
Is this
I'm
brother?
no longer taking questions.
At this time, this press conference is over. Is this? I'm going to ask you one more question though. Is this brother still alive, or was it last
Yes.
seen? You weren't sure.
He is still alive. He just went away for a while. He wasn't. He was not there when the village was destroyed.
Okay. I assume also a Kenku.
That makes sense, right?
Hey, families are all kinds. All
Much
kinds.
much of my background, I sort of make them up in a few seconds, and yeah,
We'll improvise from there. It's
All right, so we have Toril, the Kenku Fathomless Warlock. And I don't think we got hit point, but hit points we always have the same because they give you max hit points level 1. So I guess you can. Reese, do you want to roll for your level 2 hit points?
sure, you can do that.
So that's also something we do in our campaigns for our house rules. Is it's basically the same thing as the stat. You can roll for them, take whatever you roll, or you can take the average that you would get if you were just doing the average. So you're just trying to get better. So we always have the average as a baseline. Nobody can actually do like really shitty.
Okay.
But level 1 in 5e, they just give you your max hit points anyway.
Yeah.
So whatever your best is, they give it to
Let me
you.
do a roll in the chat, because I think there's like equipment and stuff I haven't put in for the character mancer.
oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mess anything up for that.
Mhm.
And what is a Warlock 5 or
I think you're
D8?
I
It's
think
D8.
you're a D8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
and Constitution is 14, so that's a +2.
Yes.
Yes, it's also
Okay.
If you just
All
want to
right,
roll the
here we
D8
go.
first, then we can just
Yeah.
apply it. Because averages we have 5.
That's
We
the
rolled
wrong
way too
roll.
many dice. But
Man, that's a great.
It's not great rolls either. That's
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead.
Well,
and
that's
take
why I had to
the-
roll 5 of them.
You could end up with 15 hit points.
All
All right,
right,
that's
yeah,
average.
that's
Yep.
perfectly average. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So you have. That's it. You had 10 starting then, and then that would be another 7.
hmm
So you'll start with 17.
17. Yep.
All right.
Oh yeah, and then don't forget your feet. I don't know if when you add, you'll have to add your feet manually because the character monster will say you don't have a feat, but I'm giving you one. So you'll just have to
Okay.
drag that from your compendium onto your sheet. And
Oh,
then
okay.
what I don't know is if Roll20 is smart enough to say, "Oh, you've got resilient. Let me do." It probably doesn't. So you might have to manually go in and up your whatever. I think it was con for you. You might have to up that yourself, and then that may also change your stuff around. So the feats,
Okay.
unfortunately, add a little bit of complexity to it because that's not part of the character monster system.
All right. Where do I increase the number if it doesn't do that then?
It's in the gear
Okay.
section. I'm not in the character sheet right
Yeah,
now.
you'll
so
have to
I
go ahead and
couldn't
finish
tell you.
finish your character sheet first.
Yeah, I think I have to finish the character sheet before I can put a
Yes,
feed in there. It looks like.
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure that's all done,
Oh,
and
okay.
then go into your level 2. Yeah, have all that. I'm just saying you won't be able to select the feat as part of the character monster process. You'll have to do that in addition to everything else. And if you're getting one that ups an ability, then you'll also have to up that thing yourself. Everybody's saying you should
Okay.
bump your charisma because that's the odd number, but
I know.
I think he wants to do con.
We'll be 3 shortly.
He wants
4
he wants that con. He actually wants the other end of the feat, which is the con proficiency. Which
Right.
Yeah.
that's
I didn't want to like min max the charisma stat at the beginning.
Mm,
there's
He's a
always-
fisherman. He's learning how to.
right. Yeah.
to be
Always
a better
knew it.
fisher.
only just learning how to talk to
this.
people for the first time.
Yeah. He talks to the fish a lot.
Ray, I noticed you've already filled out your name. So
Sorry,
I
you're
think
next.
Sorry, going.
do we have everything on Toril then? I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything of note.
Everything of note. All right, Ray, introduce us to your character, please. And
I
by the way,
came up with a
real
name
quick, again,
days ago.
we're not giving art yet. We'll do art on session 1. So sorry, we don't have any art to show you. The artist is still working on that. We will have that ready for session 1. All right, good.
So I can't remember what we're doing right now. Do we actually tell this background story or? We're
Give
not
me your
doing that yet.
name, race, class, and then just a brief blurb about your character. Give me the elevator pitch.
I'm trying to say how much of the story I tell you.
You just keep talking, I can tell you to shut the fuck up at some point.
Sure. All right.
30 minutes later, like, all right, Ray, you're
All
done.
right. I'll start doing the playoff music. Like wrap
I
up
have
the
returned
acceptance
to the
speech.
total race. Probably a good choice for the seas. My
Uh-huh.
character's name is Mac, which is short for Machiavelli,
Okay.
which turns out the Machiavelli means sneaky, I think, which actually works out for my class of Ranger. I've done Ranger before.
And Tortle
He was
before.
And Turtle before,
Is this the
yes.
distillation of your favorite stuff in D&D? I'm kind of
I don't know.
surprised because usually people like to explore different things.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's making it different is the subclass of Ranger. It won't be till level 3, so I don't know if you want to know what it is yet, or wait. But it won't be Hunter again, which I
Okay.
think, what's his name? Halford the Halfling was.
Yeah.
He was a
Mhm.
Hunter Ranger, I believe.
I think you're right.
And what was Reese? He was a Swarm Master or something?
Yeah.
Swarm Keeper.
Yeah.
And
So it's
I
either of
actually,
those two.
and then I played Kalen was a half multi-class ranger and he was the monster slayer. So I'm pretty sure you're not playing any of those 3.
Yeah.
Well,
It's up to you if you want to do it. Like I said, we're not technically level 3 yet, but I know obviously when people choose their characters, 90% of the time they have a good idea of what they're gonna.
Right. No, I do
evolve
know.
into.
I do know what I want. With Edmund, I enjoyed that bag of tricks, so I wanted to have a companion. And
You did.
part of it too is because in Baldur's Gate, my main solo character is a Ranger Beastmaster. So I was like, let me try that. Unfortunately, as I'm reading, Beastmaster, like you're limited to a CR 1/4 the whole campaign. Like there's no rule on going up.
I think they changed. I don't know if you looked at the updated Ranger rules in Tasha's, but I thought they changed it to where you had like a Beast of the Land or something, and they had slightly different rules for it.
That's what Snigbat was. Yeah, in our one shot.
Yeah.
They're not CR 1/4, but they also don't level up except for their hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
limited, and so I ended up choosing Drake Warden instead.
Drake
So,
Warden.
yes,
I'm
So
not
level
familiar with that
2.
one at all. That's from
I'm not either.
Fizzbands, I think. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's been a whole new book. So I was like, well, that's different enough where we can try it and see how it is, and it'd be kind of cool to summon a dragon. And apparently at level 7 or something, it's big enough to ride. So like, all right.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
Nice. I want to see that.
It can't fly, but you can ride it though.
Right. Yeah.
Or sorry, it can fly, but if you're trying to ride it, it can't fly.
Oh, right. You're too heavy to. Yeah. Okay.
So yes, that is my character that I've chosen. He's kind of Michelangelo themed, so when you see the art, hopefully it'll be orangey, but he is a ranger.
I hope, Ray, over the course of our years of playing D&D, you play all 4 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All 4 turtles.
You're halfway there. You're just got 2 more to go. I believe in you. You have to play
Turtles.
a rogue, and I don't know what the last what Tello would be.
I don't know, but that
Yeah.
is
Officer.
A little
Yeah.
motivation for me choosing Toro again is to
Yeah.
continue on with the Ninja Turtle theme.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? I'm not looking at the book here.
We need your adjectives or quirk if you have any of that stuff
Okay.
planned out.
Adjectives.
Also, give me a second
Made
to
it up
fix the
now.
webcams, folks. I know it's kind of.
The adjective I've chosen, which I seem fit for a ranger and for Michelangelo, is focused, loyal, truthful, gullible, glutton.
Oh boy.
So you really did try to make Michelangelo.
Yeah.
So you know, my lights are flickering. So if I drop
Oh,
off,
okay.
electricity.
Jeez.
I can't see it. I didn't
Yeah.
visually, but
There is a lot of wind happening.
There
oh
is.
wow.
Background. It'll be part of his story, but it kind of fits the Ninja Turtle theme. But he's going to be a city watch for the background.
Okay, so you actually worked as like a guard.
Yeah, kind of like a guard. You know, that's how he hears things, how he kind of keeps up with the news and monitoring for something. That'll be part of the story. What's next? I forget. Let me see. I guess I should tell you what City Watch does. Let me see. Player backgrounds. 5e tools is kind of slow. I don't have
Hello to Heather.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We'll
Hell,
see how
child.
long it lasts. I don't know if she's gonna actually stay asleep. So
Little turd.
yeah.
All right.
Well, somebody should have given her a 2-hour nap today.
Who would do such a thing?
I'm sorry.
Damn it, Reese.
I told him not to do that.
It looks like there's 2 City Watches, a City Watch and a City Watch investigator. Probably the investigator would make more sense for a ranger. And that would give me like a proficiency in insight and investigation.
Is it like an urban ranger then? You're like specifically like in the city?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you might give him like an archer sort of.
Can I choose your city or do you have a city in mind?
No, I don't have a city in mind. You
Okay.
could choose if you'd like.
Yes, I would like to. I kind of put it in the prep that you all would basically be coming off of the city of Neverwinter, be based around there.
Yeah, that is fine. So yeah, I'll pick one of the City Watch. I don't know, just either athletics or investigation. I'm making my character, and I'm already choosing some of those. So hopefully, I don't pick overlapping stuff. And then quirk. I was just gonna roll from the table. So
Oh boy. Just let it go
Oh
random.
boy.
here we go.
I don't even have my
1d100.
table pulled up. Somebody looking at the table
I got
right
it
now?
pulled up.
Okay.
Well, 1d100, a 65 would give me dramatically swears vengeance on every foe.
Wait, hold on. You've done that already.
Wait, why does this
I
feel
feel
like that was planned?
I feel like
That was
somebody
Dice
already said
roll.
that one.
And
that
that
is
is
a
very-
fun one.
Yeah.
That is very funny because it actually is what I'm going to do. I can't believe how well that worked out.
Swearing
amazing.
vengeance on your foes isn't like a total family trait. Then it is a thing that this whole family does.
George was just genocidal against Grung, so we'll see
I guess
if,
that's true.
if,
It was one specific
if
enemy.
Mac is going to be if this is specific vendettas or actually like racial genocide.
Right.
The dice shows.
The dice
All
did
right, the
choose.
dice knows.
That is the name of the
Dice
game.
knows. All right, and then for the feet, I was like, oh man, there was one that was like dragon wings will pop out of you. I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool, but it's too far fetched, I think. So we're gonna go with sharpshooter for my.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I like the last part, the gambling part. You can subtract 5 from your attack roll, and if you still make it, it's plus 10 to damage.
Yeah, that feat is fucking broken. How powerful
Right.
it is because you can obviously get a pretty good attack.
If you know you're gonna
quick.
hit, it
Yeah.
becomes
Not creative, for a ranger, but fitting for a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Hard not to take it.
What's next? I think that's
So
it. Right?
would you consider yourself more of obviously with sharpshooter? You're gonna go ranged combat versus melee.
Yes. And then we'll see how the dragon looks when he comes out, but maybe he'll be my melee distraction or something.
Are you taking the archery fighting style then?
I most likely will. I
Okay.
haven't decided that yet, but it would be nice to have a +2 for the archery so I can do a subtract 5 for my attack.
Yeah, that really kind of negates that part of it, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's not a -5 anymore. Now it's a -3.
I know. Who's gonna break the game?
Do turtles have any kind of amphibious stuff? I actually don't remember.
They
It
can
didn't
hold their
come up that
breath.
much in Tomb.
They can hold their breath for an hour underwater, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they do have a swim speed equal to walking speed, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So 2 for 2 so far
Yeah,
on like people who are not gonna drown.
Heather Reese is playing a Kenku Fathomless Warlock, which means he worships a tentacle god.
That
And
feels about right.
Yeah.
and he could literally breathe underwater and has a swim speed because of that as a bird. He's like a fucking osprey or something.
He just dies underwater.
Without
It's fine.
wings.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got
You're a penguin.
no.
Except I have claws.
Yeah, he has hands.
I'm a clawed penguin.
We've got descriptors. We've got quirk.
Yeah, have you done your adjectives?
Yep.
He did do adjectives. Yep.
Oh yeah, you did. Yes.
We've got your feet.
Roll.
Yeah, we still need to get your attribute roll. And then do you have a connection for me? Do you have a named NPC or creature that we can use that exists somewhere?
Like, are you gonna bring him later, or
I think that's kind of the idea. Is I'd like to be able to use these characters in some capacity. Yeah.
how about George?
I feel like that's cheating, but yeah, that could probably work. And that's probably the obvious angle I would do as soon as you told me, like, this is this other player character's brother. Then I'm like, yeah, obviously, we're going to have to involve fucking George in some way. But now you put me in a bind because I can't just, like, capture George. Like, I gotta have it's got to be like an Island of Grung now, and that's like a horror movie.
So, basically at the start, I'm gonna receive a letter from George. So I don't know if you want to just make it like letters communication or somehow he's sending me messages of some sort.
Yeah.
I mean, that could still involve him. You don't necessarily have to bring him back.
No,
in
yeah,
character.
for sure.
But
Secret messages written in pizza.
Yeah. So when we're ready to share that, I'll let you know what that letter says. But he will receive a letter from George, and that is what's going to start his quest this campaign.
I think that could work.
All right. Shall I roll?
Yeah, let's get some attribute rolls.
So high expectations for my roll numbers.
I know. I
That's
did
right.
hype it up, didn't I?
He cursed you.
Mm-hmm.
Although those are fucking good numbers.
God damn you!
Holy
God damn you!
shit! Holy
He
shit!
fucking
Those are good
strikes
numbers.
again. Look at this.
Those are pretty
14
good.
What do we
plus
got?
12
A
plus
16,
12
a
plus
14, a
13.
14.
That is a
12,
fucking
12.
81.
You
Ladies and
motherfucker! You
gentlemen.
did it again.
That's really good.
That's 2 all over the game. Nothing below
Jesus
a 12.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Well played. Well played.
Mhm.
He got the quirk he wanted. He got the stats. Everybody's wanting to borrow your dice, sir.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's kind of tradition. Well, where are you gonna? You gotta put the 16 in the text, right? Or maybe you spread it out.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, 16 in Dex.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, I feel like he's got to have more Dex and Con as a ranger.
He's got the deeps.
Yeah.
He's gonna be all the deeps here.
And then maybe a little bit of strength to handle that dragon later on. I did say he was gullible, so he's not very intelligent or wise. So that'll be my 13s, and of course charisma's gonna be 12.
I feel like gullible would specifically be wisdom too, because that'd be like you're easily manipulated.
True, I could do that. Slightly. Let's make him more charismatic than intelligent. How about that? So intelligence, wisdom will be 12. He's got
I
13.
You
feel
did
that.
describe him as very nice. You described him as like loyal, and so yeah, I feel like that would be like
Yeah.
personality. You'd have a better personality. They would have wisdom. Yeah, it makes sense.
Now, also, what do I put as your actual name under your box on our cover? Do I have to do Machiavelli,
No, just
or can
put
we
Mac.
just go with Mac?
Put
Okay.
Mac, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Start updating our names. Yeah, those are fucking killer stats.
Yes, they are. They're very good stats. Oh yeah, Ranger. Oh well. Maybe he won't be doing much for spellcasting. So the chat is saying Rangers do need wisdom for spellcasting.
But
not all of it, right?
depends on
Yeah,
the
it
spells.
depends on what kind of spells.
You can
Yeah.
literally take a bunch of buffs and healing, and then your stat almost doesn't matter, I think. I don't know if
Yeah,
it determines how
that's
many spells you can cast, though.
It's like saving throws and attack rolls mostly.
Yeah,
so,
which
like, if
Rangers
you're not
wouldn't
doing
be
any...
doing. You definitely never cast a spell for an attack. Maybe you'd cast, like if you had, like, Entangle or something, that would be a save that you have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I
But,
probably would have like Hunter's Mark to spend, and
yeah.
And that one wouldn't... Yeah.
And you've probably
little-
been playing around with the spells in Baldur's Gate and be able to see.
a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah.
A little spoiler, but for the Drake Warden, you can summon a dragon every long rest, but you can also use a spell slot, like if he dies or something.
Oh, so that might be your main use of the spell slots. Is to,
Slot.
yeah.
Do they have that in Baldur's Gate, the Drake Ward?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I was just looking around at 5e, and you didn't say no, so I went with it.
Who didn't say no? Let's see what else. So finish level 1, and then level 2 you can roll your hit points. If you want to do it like Reese, just go ahead and roll it here, and then apply that to the sheet. Or unless you want to think you can finish your sheet up.
For level 1 or level 2?
So level 1 it automatically gives you your max hit points, and then level 2 is when you would be able to roll to try to get better than average hit points.
Oh, I don't know what my roll is.
I think a ranger,
Ranger
is 10.
is 10, yeah.
Plus my con.
Which is insane because
Yeah,
they're at range. And
Yeah, how many times did I take down Reese's ranger in our last
Yeah,
campaign?
exactly. Yeah.
I'll just roll a 1d10 then.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, just roll 1d10.
That's better to average.
Yeah, it is.
I'd stick with that.
I will.
Yep. So yeah, when you get to your level 2, you can apply that plus your con. I think it might apply your con. I forget how the character monster works with that.
Yeah, it'll automatically apply your con.
Okay.
Mhm.
It did just for me, just now. I was going to make one amendment to my character. So the Agonizing Blast, I can take the Rebuke of the Talisman. So whenever I get hit by someone within 30 feet, I can use my reaction to deal psychic damage equal to my proficiency bonus and push it 10 feet away from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna let anyone near you. Like it's all just like get the fuck away from me.
Heather, one thing you need to be aware of is the spells he took as a warlock are Arms of Hadar and Thunder Wave, so both of which just fuck up things around him. So just
Oh hell
don't
yeah!
ever
Armfudar is the best one.
Don't ever stand near him. Basically, is what we've learned.
No, you stand behind him.
Yeah,
but a ways behind. So we got Ray as a Turtle Ranger. I think we've got Mac finished then. So let's look at Heather.
Me. That's me.
Are you prepared to introduce us to your character?
Prepared as I'm gonna be.
That's almost exactly what Raven said.
I mean, it's time, so we're
He's like,
doing
I'm
this.
not going to be more prepared than this, so like that's
I think
fair.
we did it on purpose. How Chris, the most prepared guy, has to go last.
That's
Just making me wait.
That's why he has to go last.
Yeah.
I saw Eric scrolling through all of Chris's prepared note thingy that he sent him, and I was like, "Well, that's this shit. All right, can't all be Chris." So
you get to go last.
This is what I do in my free time, people. I have too much of it.
So I have to hit this plus character button
Yes.
because I can't see anyone else's character sheets.
They only just made them, I believe, today, so I can start adding them in there. That's true.
Okay.
Let's make sure they're available to all players.
I think it's raining here.
Oh, snap.
Really? Well, that's where you guys' temperature drop is coming from then, I guess.
Mhm.
It wasn't supposed to.
Really?
Yeah, no, there's a giant thunderstorm going all the way from where you are, Reese, to the east, but it's missing us, of course.
Uh-oh.
But I can see the lightning from our camera outside, so I'm watching the lightning as it's going. Off in the
Well, again,
distance.
if you drop Reese, we'll know what happened.
Yeah.
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 Jeez. Look at these fucking...
You,
Sorry,
the
I'm
car
looking
to come off, though.
at Ray's character sheet, and it's just disgusting at level 1. Or level 2, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
Disgusted. All right, what do we got?
So I will introduce everybody to Sabra Akadis.
Ooh. You have to spell out that last name, but Sabra's
Yeah.
a cool
I
first
have
name.
shared the sheet, so you should be able to start seeing each
Oh,
other's
nice.
sheets now.
Yeah. So
Sabra
she
Akadis, nice.
is a lizard folk wizard of the necromantic variety.
The lizard wizard.
Wizard.
She
The lizard
can't-
wizard
she
returns.
Can't let that one go. The lizard
Nope.
wizard returns. So far, folks, a kenku, a turtle, and a lizard walked into
You know,
our bar.
Root has some lizard cultists.
Hey,
That's,
Sabra.
we're all just playing root now.
yeah.
Mhm. I'm trying to make sure. So, int is my spellcasting thing. So, I've got like 18 things because there's 2 different lizard folk ones in here. I don't know if you
So-
know that.
What does it say in the parentheses?
MMOM and VG1.
Use the MMOM one. Reset the same thing. Mordenkainen's Multiverse of Monsters is the latest update for the monster races, I guess.
Which,
Okay.
by the way, lizard folk can hold their breath and can swim. So
You know,
we
I'm
are
seeing a
currently-
bit of a theme here, guys. you
Yes.
rose to the
Yes, you
challenge
can.
of a nautical campaign. Why would I play a dumbass human who uses his lungs to breathe?
That's right.
Let's see here. She is chaotic neutral. We get a nice ability score increase at level 1. This is great. Let's see, what can I do? Increase 1 by 2 or increase a different score and increase a different score by 1. Okay, so I'll pick. Can I just pick int and int? I'm allowed to do that, right?
I mean, I would probably roll your attributes first before you actually choose what.
I think it
what
makes
to
you.
bump.
I think it makes you slide them
Oh.
in there first, actually. With
Oh,
roll
but you,
for-
Yeah.
but you can go back and
you
adjust
can go
them
back
later.
and change them.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
The lizard folk.
Constitution is the hit points, so that seems like a good one.
Yeah, wizards are simple. Int and Constitution. Well, take that back. Dex for armor. Because
Yeah.
Although, don't lizard folk have natural armor
Yes.
of some kind?
Oh, do they?
Yes. Yes, they do.
I forget what it triggers off of.
Called natural armor. So your base AC is 13 plus your dexterity modifier.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
a built-in mage armor. That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the turtle's
Um,
built in armor too. So
he does. Yeah,
Yeah, shut up. We know
Yeah.
how fucking OP your turtle is. I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm never gonna be able to. I'm never gonna kill this asshole. You just told me you can summon a dragon and fly at some point. Are you kidding me? What am I gonna do to that? Ridiculous. It's nothing but
Yeah.
caves for you. Small caves.
Mhm.
Enjoy your
So
nautical
yes.
campaign in small caves.
As a lizard folk, I can throw myself into a feeding frenzy. As a bonus action, I can make a special attack and bite people.
All right,
So
you
if
picked
they get a
another
little too
character that
close-
you can eat people with. That's.
I did.
Heather's kind of type, as it turns out.
It's
the
it's
taste
what
of
I do.
flesh.
If the attack hits, it deals normal damage, but then I get to gain temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus. So just another way to gain like a temporary hit point.
Pretty solid for a wizard who's going to have like no hit points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If someone gets too
Um,
close. If someone gets too close before the warlock manages to blast them away.
Yeah. I also get nature's intuition thanks to my mystical connection to nature. I gain proficiency with two skills. I can pick between animal handling, medicine, nature, perception, stealth, or survival. I'm totally picking perception because that's always a good one.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Oh, medicine feels good going for like the necromantic arts type thing here.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so hit the next button. My class is a wizard.
We have not.
Oh, great. There's 2 of those too.
We have not seen a wizard in a long time.
Since the very first campaign,
The very
right?
first
Yeah.
campaign, yeah. We've played a
So-
wizard since then.
What's the difference in the 2 wizards in here? One says EK and one says PHB.
PHB is the right one.
Yeah.
EK is, I think, some other book
Okay.
or some
Yeah,
like
dude.
addendum thing.
Do PHP, I guess.
All right, let's see here. Ooh, I get skill proficiencies. More things. I need more things. History feels like a good one for me. Arcana's probably good, right? Yeah, those are probably
You're
good.
probably going to be the one to do skill checks because wizards, most skill checks are intelligence, and most people dump it.
Yeah, most people don't know aren't smart.
Yeah.
So should I do like insight or investigation then?
I think those are both wisdom, aren't they? Oh, I don't know about
Those are both-
investigation's intelligence.
Those are both intelligence. Actually, would you rather read people or read areas? I guess.
Yeah, like clues and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably people.
That's insight. Yeah.
Okay. So insight and arcana will be my skill proficiencies.
Insight might actually be wisdom. I don't know. I don't remember.
Let's see here. Get lots of cantrips, first level spells, ritual casting, arcane recovery. Let's see here. Taurus. Oh, I can recover a spell slot. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
yeah. That's a good one.
All right. We're going to roll for stats. See what happens.
All right. Yeah. Reese had a little bit low average, so we took the array. Obviously, you saw what Ray did.
Ray had.
Mhm.
That asshole.
Don't we talk about it?
We're not gonna talk about it.
All right. So I just hit the roll 46 and drop the lowest, right?
Let's do it. Yep.
Please don't be bad. Please don't be bad.
That's looks fucking
That looks
good.
pretty good.
Ju-
Lowest is
just
10.
off the top.
13, 16,
77.
13, 4. How did you get
That
that?
is good.
77
That
is
is good.
great.
Yeah.
That is above
That is-
average.
All right. Well, 16's going in my
Congratulations.
intelligence.
Reese is getting more
It's like,
increasingly
damn it,
depressed.
Chris, please fail.
All right. Well, 16 is going in my intelligence because that's my intelligence modifier goes for my
That's where
spell
your bread's
saves and all of
buttered,
that. So
Yeah.
int is going to be my big casting thing.
Yep.
Oh, let's see here.
I
What's
assume
next?
con is your next tie. I don't know. I think wizards just really care about int and con, right? Just
Or like you said, Dex. Dex somewhat.
or dex for
Yeah.
and also
Dex-
your armor class is triggered off dex for your lizard.
It
so,
is,
It's scales
yeah.
in armor class. Also, it's initiative. Like and
Yeah.
dexterity is often targeted by enemies. Like it's saving. It's a lot of saving.
Fireball
throws.
is dex. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's
Mhm.
great. Yeah.
Strength is already. It's just going to be the 10. She's
Yeah,
not.
that's-
She's not about that life. She's not swole.
Yeah.
But 10 makes you average.
10 is like
You
yeah,
have the
not
strength
bad.
of an average person. Like that's not terrible.
True. She's also not really charismatic.
That's also fair. Make that
So
A lot of
Yeah.
wizards
yeah.
Yeah.
let's put Con and Wiz will be the same, both at 13.
Yeah,
So.
you'd think a necromancer with a lizard would be fairly off-putting, and yet you would have about the same charisma as the average person.
So for my background,
Yes.
and I believe this is from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft,
Oh boy.
I chose the Haunted one
Oh boy.
because
Okay.
it felt thematic.
Look that one up. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I am haunted by something so terrible that I dare not speak of it.
Ooh.
I have tried to bury it and run away from it to no avail.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I get 2 more skill proficiencies. I'm going to be proficient in all the things.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We'll go with, so out of the list, I can choose Arcana, Investigation, Religion, or Survival. I've already chosen Arcana. You can't be super proficient. So we'll also go, I feel like Religion might be good. You know, you need some
Yeah.
religion on the open seas.
Good to
I
know
really
about
want.
it.
I really want to learn about his tentacle god.
I was gonna say he's gonna tell you all about his tentacle guy.
Yeah.
That's his whole
Yeah.
thing.
The
He's
best part
the
is I
Jehovah's-
I get to choose 2 additional languages. So right now I already have Common and Draconic, which is standard for a lizard folk.
Oh yeah, that is something. To think over.
Yeah. So now my additional languages to choose from, I get to choose 2 of these. Abyssal, Celestial, Deep Speech, Draconic, Infernal, Primordial, Sylvan, or Undercommon. I think I'm gonna go Deep Speech because that feels very.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but it's
It feels very oceany. Like
Yeah.
it
you
does
know?
sound oceany.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking maybe Oh, for the second one, I can choose anything. Oh, that's good. I have to choose one from that list, and then the second one I can choose
Yeah,
anything.
one of which
Oh,
must
wow.
be, yeah.
Oh, this could be fun.
It does
What's gonna
say
be?
you can choose a. I don't know if it makes you do this in the character monster. As part of this background, you actually have a D10 of events that was a dark moment, fateful decision, or a tragedy.
Yeah, I already know which harrowing event I want. I was
Ooh.
reading them earlier.
Okay.
She's got a background in mind.
Yeah.
She's got like
Yeah.
a story.
Let's see
Esperanza.
here. I don't know what would be a good Abyssal doesn't feel right. I already did deep speech.
I mean, the thing with wizards is that like they would have just learned like languages as part of their studies. So it's like it could be anything.
Yeah.
what did you take in college? I took
was relevant?
I did 2 semesters of Latin. I didn't.
Do you say you already had Draconic as a lizard folk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I've got Draconic. I'm gonna choose Undercommon because that feels very, again, thematic here.
Mm.
So the harrowing event that I chose is that I was born under a dark star. I can feel it watching me coldly and distantly. Sometimes it beckons me into the dead of night.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that was fun.
So you're not like a fun necromancer then, like a serious one.
You're like the dark cat. Like
she's
the
like
dark,
the actual
like
goth, like the serious goth necromancer.
Yeah.
One of those fun necromancers. The ones we go drunk driving with, and then
That's right.
they can raise you from the dead. Yeah, that's a fun one. What is your general backstory? I guess.
So, kind of the backstory process that I came up with is that Sabra is very much an outcast amongst her people. Her people are they're happy wizards. They're the happy necromancers. They're happy wizards. And all of their magical dealings are all in happy magic.
So you come from a spellcasting family, or
yes,
or organization or community.
Tribe, yes. And
she's like it's like a goth. She's like
she's the goth one. She's the little black sheep. Yeah.
that dark star changed her into this goth lizard, and so her color is not the same as what you would expect out of a normal lizard folk. She's very ashen. She's got again that goth type look. Her eyes are slightly sunken in and dark and all of this, and so she's
got her hair into one of those like mohawks.
It's lots of spikes.
Oh, it's the spikes. Look, I forgot about that.
He loves country music though. It's weird.
But only when her friends aren't around. Like she can't let anyone know because that would break the whole illusion.
Goth lizard wizard. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have? 5 adjectives that describe your character.
I do. She is pretentious. She's sharp, cunning, devious, and dark.
It's dark. We literally have another character that's gullible, and we have one that's devious. So we've got some real like contrast dynamics going on here already.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. So far, you're running around with some kind simpletons, so this will be just extremely dangerous.
For real, yeah. Like it's gonna be.
Do you have a quirk?
I was gonna roll on that table.
Ooh, how exciting!
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I gotta get the table open though. Where is it? Is it in the primer?
Zealot.
It is in the primer. Yeah, I should be able to
All right.
link to it from
get
there.
I almost want the lizard wizard or Sabra and Terrell. How do you pronounce it? Toro?
Toro. Apparently that's the name of the world too, which I didn't realize until chat said. So.
I didn't know that either.
It's the planet, yeah. Because
I want them to be like best friends and be like just
yeah.
Look, religious zealot and goth wizard to be emo wizard to be like just buddies.
All right, what page is it on? Ray, do you remember?
The what?
No.
The quirks. I think
yeah.
there's a link.
Oh,
I think
it's a link. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something. It's a
It's on page
It's
5.
a Google
Sorry,
sheet.
It's on page 5.
All right, and this player primer in here is just all kinds of foobard.
You just roll a D100 and there's 100 different options.
There we go.
Okay.
I can pull it up for those of you looking.
Right.
I'll paste it in the players only chat too.
Thank you.
If you click on you can click on the link.
I can't even. So the player primer on my screen is like this big, and it will not let me make it bigger.
I was talking about that earlier. The Roll20
you can't grab the
implementation
edge
of
of it and make it
PDFs
bigger?
is
No.
Roll20 does PDFs a little weird. Like it opens them in their little tiny windows,
Yeah.
and then like just shrinks them down to the window size.
The top left, you should see the like 2 rectangles adjacent to each other. If you click that, I think it like
It makes it a little bit bigger, yeah.
If I go to the bottom right, I got the arrows that I can just stretch it out and make it bigger.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't have that.
It's my first time using the PDF thing that they have, so.
All right. You put it. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, can somebody send a link? Yeah.
There we go. Hang on, it's opening now.
Yes, in Roll20, you just got to roll a D100, and we'll just look up what you get.
All right, here we go. Let's do that. All right. /1D100. 50.
Perfectly even.
I am superstitious, reading everything as a sign or omen.
All right, that's
You really are going to be
that's
best
quite-
friends with Torl. It is
Yeah.
gonna be like a whole
He's
thing.
actually gonna like that one a lot. That's
I'm
crazy.
so glad
how
I did not get 49.
both of our
It's
random.
49.
Let's
Oh,
hope
hope
it's
it's right.
romantic.
Or
You could fall in love with
48, that would have
corpses
been
or
worse.
something. Yeah.
Oh man,
That's amazing that
Yeah.
the dice have backed up both these characters so far.
it is. It is.
Reese
They
chose
really...
his was just being a zealot, I think.
Yep.
Nice.
Talking about his God.
preaching the gospel of the fathomless wherever he
The
goes.
gospel of the fathomless. The gospel according to fathomless. Okay, so we've got descriptions, quirk. Have you thought of a feat you would like to take? Your free feat.
I did. Let me find the tab for it. Hang on. Where is it? Shut up, Pooh. Nobody asked you. I am going to take Warcaster.
Mm.
So it allows me to have advantage on Constitution saving throws that I make to maintain concentration. As well as I can perform somatic components of spells even when I have weapons or a shield in one or both of my hands, which that won't be a problem.
Nobody ever, yeah. We can play Solasta if you want to deal with that. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
So, secondarily, when a hostile creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from me, instead of using a weapon, I can now cast a spell against that creature instead.
Oh.
So the spell is at a casting time of 1 action and target only that creature, but I can do that. I can do a opportunity attack as a spell now versus a melee weapon attack.
Nice.
Never have to wield a weapon.
Yeah. No weapons for me.
All right. So if everybody's taking the pretty safe bets for their feats, I dig it.
Yep. Oh my goodness, this spell list is going to take me a while.
Yeah.
Right. That's the wizard's problem.
That is the
You
wizard's
got-
whole thing.
You
have
got
access
some choices.
to all of the spells.
Can I just hit next in the character monster and then load in the necromancer stuff so that way it's all in there so I don't like double select something that I don't need to double select?
Whatever is easier for you.
Let's see if it'll let me do
you
it.
could always use the necromancer and then edit your character sheet after the fact.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you could
can.
always do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so next.
It'll probably yell at you and say, you need more spells or something.
Right. Yeah, it'll yell at you for a second before you hit finish, but
All right, there's level 1.
Gosh, she has so many odd numbers, though. Man, you need those ASIs like so bad. It's 15, 13, 13, 11 for 4 of her 6.
Well, I mean, as a wizard, all I get are ASIs and arcane tradition features, so it's fun.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
and your level 2 is going to be a big one, right? Because level 2, I think, is when wizard actually chooses their school.
Yeah, so launch the level. That's why I wanted to switch to level 2.
Yeah.
All right, so let me roll
That's
my
true.
hit points
Yeah,
and
Warlock
see.
gets all their stuff. I feel like that's something they're going to change in the next 5.5 edition and have everybody get their like class stuff at a certain level, so it's more even.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, School of Necromancy.
Oh,
So I'm now a necromancy savant.
Yeah.
So it only takes me half the time to put necromancy spells into my spell book. And then I gain the ability to reap life energy from creatures I kill with my spells. So now once per turn, when I kill one or more creatures with a spell of first level or higher, I regain hit points equal to twice the spell's level, or 3 times its level if the spell belongs to the School of Necromancy.
Nice. Yep.
because you're
Okay.
eating the bodies afterwards.
Siphoning their life
Gotta be.
force. Yeah, so I think Chill
Yeah.
Touch is the classic necromancy cantrip, which is like the ghostly hand that like chokes people.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I'm not sure which ones are.
Is
necromancy
Toll the
spells.
Bells or Bell Toll or whatever? Is that a necromancy spell? I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Toll the Dead?
Toll the Dead. Toll the Dead. Yeah, yeah.
For whom
Yeah,
the-
Toll the Dead is a necromancy spell.
Yeah.
It's a
Remember that?
cantrip too.
I think that one was pretty
the
good.
dolorous
too. Yeah.
bells. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one that does
Yeah,
more damage
so-
if they're injured, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
We're definitely going to get some Toll the Dead as a cantrip.
Yeah, she's only into songs that have bells in them.
It's fucking.
I only listen to music with
it's the
bells.
Exorcist theme song, is what she
Yeah.
does.
Let's see. Chill Touch is going to be one of my cantrips.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, let's see here.
Chilly your touch.
I shall chill my touches.
Chill all the genociders.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Will a genocider feature in this campaign? Will we encounter a genocider merchant
That's
at
what
some
we
point?
need to know.
We'll save so much money in refrigeration costs.
That's right.
If I was writing the video game sequel, then yes, of course, that'd be a random encounter. It would be a.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
would
yeah.
be Ballista with her like cavern,
Yes,
like, or
absolutely.
wagon selling genocide.
Yeah, so are we like a genocider franchise?
We need to talk about that after Chris. After we
Yeah.
finish that, we need to finalize that. That's one thing we're gonna try to figure out. Is entirely up to you guys what organization you're working for or who your sponsors are.
Oh,
New genocider
hmm
LLC.
Oh yeah, Mage Hand's a good one to take.
Yeah. I was
This is
thinking
gonna be
about
tough.
Mage
You've
Hand.
got a lot of spell choices. You probably
do.
have the most complicated.
And is it wizards that can actually change it on a long rest?
Yeah.
I know
Oh, so
clerics
you have to like
can, but I'm not.
prepare which spells.
Yeah, you like prepare a list of spells.
So you
each
know
day, so you-
spells, but then you can also only can use the ones you're prepared or something.
Right.
Yeah, that
So
was
you-
too much
you-
for me. I couldn't play that style.
So you technically get to choose, but I think Reese, I remember you saying when we were in that first campaign, you stopped doing that. You just sort of had a suite of
You-
spells, and you're like, "This is it."
Yeah.
Just-
You get your favorites and then
yeah. So you stop messing with it.
Like I know what I'm known for. All right, that's what you're
Yeah.
gonna get.
how much does this creature weigh so I can levitate them? That's what I'm known for.
That's what every DM loves to hear. How much does this creature weigh,
Mhm.
man? That and how tall the ceilings are is always something I gotta be aware of.
Yeah, that's right.
Every
you should
single
really know that
3D
going into a room.
space
Like
we're ever
it's
in. How tall are these ceilings?
How tall is this creature?
And it looks like we're doing average hit points for your level 2. Oh,
Yeah, well, I rolled a 1, so yes.
connection. Do you have a named NPC or creature that you could have an important connection to?
I don't right now. I'll have to tell you that one.
Okay.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay. Also, if anybody wanted to have a special secret, I kind of punted this to you guys.
I think I feel like that's why both Ray and Heather are saying like they'll tell you later, is because theirs are
Yeah.
secrety.
Or
but
they
I
just
don't
haven't come
know.
up
I'm
with
not
it, is what my
or they
cynical-
haven't come up with it.
That's where I'm going with it. But
No, mine's
no,
not
but
a secret. It's just
Yeah, Raymond seems like he had an idea.
yeah, he talked about
It's
George.
just
Yeah,
it's just not part of character creation.
yeah.
I think it's part of intro.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you guys had any kind of like things I could bake into the story, at least at the start, and then obviously as we're playing and coming up with these, other events and characters, then we can go from there. Clearly, for example, Genocider was not something we came up with in session 0. or Ballista the Goblin was not something that came up in session 0.
Right.
So These are just ideas I had to try to tie some of those characters together. Do we want to circle back to your spells, since this is going to take you...
So, I mean, I still have to go in and add my level 1 spells, so I have to add 6 more first level spells, and I think 6 more cantrips.
Holy crap.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Only 6?
Yeah.
That's a bunch.
But for my second level, I did choose...
What did you get, 2, Reese?
Yeah. I get 3 next level,
See, that's why I like Warlock. I was like, this is more my speed.
So for the second level, the cantrips I took were Chill Touch, Toll the Dead, and Mind Sliver.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the 2 first level spells that I got for level 2, I got Witch Bolt and Cause Fear.
Cause Fear. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I still need to go through, like I said, I need to add more spells in. And as I put them in, I'll put it into the chat things. That way you have a full list.
Okay.
So that way that's all done. So yeah, so level 2 is in. I have a grand total of 12 hit points.
Yeah.
I'm rocking the
You are
rocking
the
the 12.
squishiest of the squish. Yeah, this is a far cry from your barbarian, so I dig the...
It is. I have not played a squishy character in quite some time.
That's true. Yeah.
So my hit dice is only a D6. It's not great.
You're gonna make the Warlock feel good about not being the...
I feel good already.
The fewest hit points. Anything else about Sabra? Or I think we've locked all the stuff down?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Right now, my spell save
Description,
DC
score.
looks like it's going to come in at about 14 to start off, so that's not
I
bad.
think you're the only one
That's
so
not
far
bad.
with a straight up 18, or did Ray end up with one of those?
No, I think Ray ended up with one. And then I have a spell attack bonus of 6.
Damn.
So that'll be
Pretty good.
great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
Tell your DM how strong you are.
Challenge him.
It's not currently calculating my armor class correctly. It's just saying I have a base 10 armor class, but
We may have to take a look at it and
You
see
may
if
have
it
to.
is
Yeah.
Lizard folk stuff. We can edit it
Yeah.
manually, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I do want to point that out. So that will have to be worked on, but otherwise, it looks okay. I think my character sheet is correct. So
cool. Yeah, any predictions for Chris now as we go to our final character? We've got so far, to recap, a Kenku Fathomless Warlock, a Turtle Ranger who's going Drake Warden, a Lizard Folk Wizard School of Necromancy, and Chris.
And now, Scalenia, God damn you, because
Oh.
I was just about to brag that literally no one got even close to mine because I didn't go thematic. I just went what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But Scalenia guessed it at the very last second.
In
Um,
chat here or in the...
Yeah, in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, in
okay.
the chat.
in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's
Shout-
pretty good. I saw that and I went, oh snap!
Shout out
Yeah,
to
there you go.
Brandon.
Yeah, you got it.
Although I like Jason's comment after his. Chris is the only non-murder hobo.
Well, I don't know about that.
Challenge
We'll see.
accepted.
I take offense to being called a hobo. Thank you very much.
Onto the deck of the ship clomps a giant minotaur clad in iron armor, horns shorn off, capped with iron studs.
You were prepared.
See, I made him wait too.
Yeah, exactly. You made me wait so long. I
he got all dressed to go so fast, and I made his ass wait. He was halfway out the door with the keys jangling.
That's right. Yep. They got to sit on the couch because everybody else is still getting ready.
Came back inside and sat on the couch. Your leg going up and down.
Yep. This is Gottwald's Ironhorn, ready to fight. This is a Minotaur fighter.
Oh,
Full fighter, as Scalenia guessed just now, who will be taking the fighting style of unarmed fighting. So he is not going to be wielding weapons. His gloved, gauntleted fists are going to do the talking for him.
A
Just
fighter,
like my tentacles do the talking for me.
That's
a
right,
weaponless
exactly.
fighter. For
Yep.
a DM who loves loot, I kind of hate you for doing
We'll
this.
figure
but
that out.
We'll figure it
I'll
out.
talk to you about that offline, but we'll figure it out. There's loot you can still get.
Because none of the rest of these assholes are going to even wield a sword.
That's true. You're not gonna be able to use many swords here.
Oh
That's
my
very
gosh.
true.
The zoo crew, yes, this is
So that is the thing that I noted last
the
week.
most non-human
Sylvan.
party.
Yeah, we are
Zoo
a
crew.
party of anthropomorphized animals.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we might be able to bake that into the why you all have found each other. or something.
Yeah,
That seems
yeah.
like that
you
seems like it
mentioned
would be
something,
relevant.
and Ray jumped on it in the chat. I want to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, fighter, unarmed fighter. The feat I'm gonna take at level 1 is Tavern Brawler, which just makes his unarmed fighting better. It makes him do more damage. He can wield improvised weapons with proficiency, and he can grapple people as a bonus action.
I would love something we've never seen is using improvised weapons, but I love the scene of like somebody being a tavern, just like fucking like picking up a chair or something. Just
yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah.
hitting people
On a ship, I imagine him just like grabbing like a fucking anchor or something, and throwing it at a dude. I don't know, like just
Yeah, I think it'd be
whatever.
cool.
But he is definitely like full strength fighter. He's gonna let the strength attribute do most of the heavy lifting for him.
You need a strength character for sure.
Yeah,
in
so
this
that
party.
like Heather, I just flip flopped. I've been playing squishies for too long, so I needed a
Last
tank.
two characters were extremely squishy. That was kind of a running
Mhm.
joke, and now going
Yep.
back to beef.
And now I'm going back to beef.
Big beef.
Beefcake.
It's like literally beef, like
Oh
a
my.
bull. Like,
Your new nickname, Big Beef.
Big beef.
Big Beef.
His backstory.
Look out,
Um,
Big Beef's coming.
Exactly. Which is very okay. So when I get into like the mechanics, it's very funny because we've got a theme.
Here
going
comes the beef.
And if he's not there, but he's like, "Where's the beef?"
Where's the beef? Yep, exactly.
We're too old tonight.
His backstory is he barely remembers his childhood. He was from birth. He was kept as a pet in a floating castle by some cloud giants.
Wow.
They shore off his horns to make him more of a what do you call it? Safe.
Oh, like
Pet for the
declawing
children.
a cat. or
Like
something?
declawing a
Oh my
cat,
gosh.
exactly.
That's twisted.
Until one day, a group of adventurers attacked the floating castle of Linar Mall, and Gottwald used that opportunity to flee. And
Wait, so are you doing like the first of Hawkeye, where it's like the origin story takes place during
I
the
am,
other
yes,
characters' like adventure?
exactly what
That's
it
awesome.
Yeah, partially because at third level I'm gonna go Rune Knight, so I needed some excuse
so you
to him
picked up
for him to know
some-
giant runes because that's like a
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
So like him being like there when the giant kids are learning their runes might make sense.
Yep,
But
I
yeah,
like
so
it.
he's gonna be a Rune Knight at third level, but he's not yet. He's just a fighter right now. But yes, so at when some heroes attacked Linar Mall, the Cloud Giant Castle, he escaped, made his way to the coast, became a sailor with a crew, and that crew was attacked and killed by a band of pirates, with only him surviving. So he has a vendetta now against pirates conceptually.
Against piracy itself.
Piracy itself, exactly.
Oh man.
You've had multiple traumas.
Exactly.
This is exactly what the DM is looking for.
Yep.
He works for Big
Multiple-
Media.
Exploitable traumas.
So, as far as the named NPC that he has a background with, it would likely be some sort of pirate captain name, which I assume you probably have something in your pocket. Considering,
I could definitely work with that.
yeah, yeah. What else? So, yeah,
Wait, how
dedicated himself
did
to-
how did we end things with the? You said he was on a pirate ship though.
He was on a crew of a regular vessel,
Okay.
and pirates murdered his whole crew, and he was the only one who made it out alive.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. He's a survivor of an attack.
he's a survivor of a exactly.
Okay.
So a pirate captain is probably his nemesis.
All right.
Background, I'll probably go. So I wanted to ask you, I'd probably go shipwright because like he's a big burly guy who's a crew member of a ship. He'd probably know how to build ships. But I don't know mechanically if the repairing of ships is going to come into play at all in this campaign. If it doesn't, I might go with something else.
I mean, first I want to say 5e backgrounds. Like, what features do come into play? Honestly, like it's
Yeah.
it's 90% story, and that's
true.
So I would definitely choose whatever fits story wise. I would love to be able to bake in your backgrounds, into the stories. But yeah, in terms of their little mechanical feature, I don't know if anybody's ever cared about
nobody
that
ever really gets to use
much.
it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't get hung up on that. But whatever fits the character.
I'll go
the
shipwright
best.
then. Like he because part of the rune knight part is like him having like proficiency with blacksmith tools, and the shipwright gives you proficiency with carpenter tools. So he's he's good with his hands. He can build things.
Yeah.
That's what he did on the ship before it was destroyed.
Okay.
What else? 5-word adjectives. He is pugilistic, boisterous, protective, reckless, and jovial.
Okay.
He's a nice guy who likes to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. A happy-go-lucky
That's
boxer.
our big beef.
He's
That's
a
our
big beef.
I'm sorry, this is already kind of stuck. You're gonna have to go ahead and change
Yeah,
the
I
name.
know. His name has gone out the window. Like, you guys are not going to call him Gottwald ever. It's just going to be...
It's
it's the
BB
beef.
or Big B.
Who's this Gutwald I keep hearing about?
You're gonna have to actually type that in the chat because that's
Yeah.
you haven't named your
I
character
will.
sheet yet, so I need to.
And I can't now because I'm in the...
I've been updating your names on the bottom as we've been doing our characters. Do they have a
I've been calling
healer?
him Garfield
Please,
this whole time.
CG. We don't need no stinking healer.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
we don't even close to a
We'll
healer.
be
In
fine.
this, we're the
No.
most healerless party we've ever had, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Usually we have
Yeah.
either like a bard or a druid or something. But
Something,
nothing
We have a
Yeah.
necromancer.
Yeah.
Raise us from the
she
dead.
can animate
Yeah.
your corpse at least.
Yeah.
That's
There
something.
you go.
It'll be
That's
fine.
your insurance policy.
Exactly.
Your deductible.
His quirk.
Thank you.
I did roll, which I almost wish I didn't now because the auto rolls have been so good. He's always eager to fight and solve problems with violence.
I
He's
like
still
it.
a nice guy, right?
He's still a nice guy.
Yeah,
He's like
he's
the
really
kind
congruous, I feel like.
of guy.
Nice guy, but likes the violence.
He like loves it like a tavern brawl. Like he just
Yeah.
it's fun for him. Like he'll go into a
No, he's
go
not
into
like
a fight.
cruel about fighting. I
No,
guess.
he's
And,
not.
Yeah.
In fact, he will not use slashing or piercing weapons. He will punch with his fist, but the idea of cutting someone or stabbing someone is not like no bueno for him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm afraid you're hanging out with people who have extremely deadly weapons and spells.
Yes,
So we'll have to work around.
we'll have to
We're gonna-
like
there's gonna be
figure that out.
spectral tentacles knocking people around, like literally like
Big
desiccated
beef.
hands.
Close your eyes.
Just
I'd love
arrows
to see.
going through people's eyeballs, and you're gonna be like joyfully punching.
Yep, basically.
Yeah, a little bit of a disconnect there.
Yep. What's left? With Minotaur. Oh, this is the fun part that Reese went to, because like we have a theme of like moving people around. Because one of the main reasons I took Minotaur is because one of his main abilities every round, if he hits someone with an attack, he can make them do a strength saving throw or get pushed 5 feet from his horns.
Oh, boy.
Lord.
So we're gonna be fucking pushing people
God
around.
damn it. The first round,
Like
everybody's getting
yo-yos.
knocked off the boat.
Yep. Which is exactly what I was imagining. Like someone like on your boat, it's like, yeah, get off the boat. He just fucking horns
Get
them
off
off the
my
boat.
boat.
Yeah, exactly. Get off my boat.
Yeah, if he does a bonus action dash, he can do 1 horn attack for free. Or for
The
as a
hammering
bonus
horns
action,
is the
I mean.
one you're talking about, yeah.
Yep,
With the
yep.
push target with your horns.
And then part of the reason he made his way to the coast is because his labyrinthine recall became in handy. He always knows which way is north and has advantage on all navigation checks.
What? All right. So you are the only one of the group who has no in water help
Right. But I also think I'm the only one in the group who has like sailor
I was
stuff.
about to say, but you're also
Yeah.
the most experienced on a ship and have the most
Yeah.
ship sailing skills.
Hey, a
So-
lot of sailors couldn't swim back in the day.
There you go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's really good on a ship, but when it comes to actually being in the water,
Yeah, not so much.
yeah.
I mean, you could argue it's the experienced sailor who doesn't fall in the water.
That's
a
right.
great argument.
Exactly.
That's probably
yeah.
the dynamic you have too. He's like the one that's on the
Like,
ship.
I'm not
He's-
going to the water. You guys go in the water.
You're going to go in the water. I gotta maintain the ship here.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to roll some stats?
I think we are. Roll 4d6, drop the
Big
lowest.
beef, big beef.
Big beef. That's not terrible.
It's a lot of
Well,
tens.
let's add it up.
How,
Let's add
how
it
high
up.
pitched can our voice get to make him feel okay about this?
Yeah.
It's 70.
70.
70.
Oh.
That is below average, sir.
Man.
Yeah.
But I only really care about 2 stats.
Well, you could take it. It's a bunch of 10 skis. You know what? Technically, the standard array comes with an 8, I believe. So if you didn't want to have any negatives, this would be better.
There you go.
But I guess technically I do care about 3 stats. Let me double check this.
Just all the physical ones.
You got this,
Strength.
Garfield.
I care about strength and con, and then dex. Where does dex come into play?
I will say nobody rolled a dex is your armor class and your initiative, and like I said, a lot of things that happen to you involve dex. It's a lot
Right.
of AoE spells. It's a lot of getting blasted by fireballs. It tends to be a highly used defensive stat, and also for armor class, so it's a lot of your defense.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the standard array. It sucks that you get 116, but
Hmm.
yeah, I care enough about dex to take the 13. So
How dexterous
Yeah.
would a minotaur be, though? Although if
not
you're on a ship,
very, but
it'd be
yeah, you
pretty solid.
gotta learn. Yes, I'm
You
gonna
did-
go.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
they did
strength.
the bull in the china shop on Mythbusters, so probably very
Mhm.
dexterous.
Yeah. I'm gonna go strength
Surprisingly
15, dex 13, con 14. What are the rest of them?
Is that before applying?
Before applying thing, yeah.
Bonuses.
Wisdom 12. His intelligence is gonna be dump stat.
Yeah, you've got others for that.
Exactly.
Have one other for that.
The resident, resident bird
Alright.
brute.
So I
then
currently
I'll-
have all of my cantrips and spells in whenever I want to go back to that.
Yeah,
Nice. And then I'll buff up my strength to 16 with plus. Well, what did I say I was going to do on this?
Just keep refreshing your sheet because it never updates me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 15. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to do plus 2 from the race on strength if I got the common array, which I did. And then plus 1 from the feat because Traven Brawler does give you a plus 1 to strength.
Ah.
So that will put me up to 18
Oh, okay. Wow.
from 15. And then plus 1 to dex, which takes me to 14.
Honestly, 18, 14, 14 is great for your front line.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
more than solid.
Not a bad start. So
Sitting on
strength,
wisdom based.
strength.
Actually, it's a good question. I don't know who's got the highest wisdom of the party. We don't have any wisdom based spellcasters, which might be a first
Maybe.
in the party.
My
Or
wisdom
sorry,
is
no,
13.
Raymond's wisdom based spellcaster. Yeah, he's got.
No, yeah.
he's a ranger. What was yours? 13.
Mine's 13.
Raymond's has got to be at least 13, right?
I put 12.
You're 12.
Remember, I did more charisma.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll fall in all the
Your
stuff.
wizard's got the most wisdom then, yeah. So a lot of mental abilities are coming at you.
Mm-hmm. I'll choose all this stuff in a second. Let me just. So my con will be a 14.
Yep.
So with a fighter's D10, D10s, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my starting will be a 12, and I will roll a 1d10.
These are for your level 2 hit
I-
points.
I will take a 7 plus
that's
2
above
is a
average.
19.
Yep.
So that's 12 plus 19 is 21.
hmm
Okay. So I'll take
Hey,
21.
that's my numbers inverted. I'm at 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, yours is probably about the same as the Rangers then.
Yep,
I think
I'll-
so.
21.
If I get,
Fucking
yeah.
Rangers.
You guys
who's
got the
never
same-
who's never gonna get in the front line.
I
is
know,
gonna
and he's
have
got
the
that
same-
natural turtle shell. Like, fucking, it's
Yep.
gonna be so hard.
Hey, I started getting in towards the front line towards the end.
That's true. Yeah.
You may be in the
Yeah.
front line more often because you've only got the Minotaur up there.
Yep.
Get harried a little more. Yeah. What were your spells, wizard?
So I'm trying to make sure I've got them all in at this point. I'm pretty sure I do. I go here. Shit. Okay, hang on. So far, what I have right now for my cantrips, I've got Chilling Touch, Toll the Dead, Mind Sliver, Mage Hand, Infestation, and Shocking Grasp. I can give you all
Infestation sounds
fleas.
fun.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I
that's
can
so
give
many
you all
cantrips.
fleas. And then for my first level spells, I only have 3 spell slots, but I have 8 first level spells.
Jesus.
I have Witch Bolt, Cause Fear, Ray of Sickness, Tasha's Caustic Brew, Chromatic Orb, Shield, because that just seemed like a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Find Familiar, which I will cast as a ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sleep.
Okay.
Nice. Sleep's a really good early spell. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we've got an intelligence character with the wizard, a charisma character with the warlock, I assume Ray, you're going Dex, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Dex-based ranger, and then a strength-based fighter. So we did
Mhm.
spread out our stat pool pretty well.
Yeah.
What else with I think, was that everything with the Minotaur fighter? You got your attributes, you got stats. You still
Think
haven't
so?
changed your name.
I did just now.
Okay.
King
There we
Beef.
Can be.
Big beefers. All right, so we've got character
Yo,
sheets.
Beefarino.
We don't have art yet, so we will unveil that during session 1. But I'm very excited about what I'm seeing. And oh yeah, did anybody want to go over like personality traits or idea? I feel like we already kind of talked about the characters, so I don't know if we really need to do the very strict like choosing all the. I mean, they're useful shorthand, but
Yeah.
it's up to you.
I didn't mess with those yet, so
Yeah.
I don't know about those.
Yeah,
Thanks for-
again, just knowing like what your personalities are and just how we role play it is going to be. And in fact, you
More
can just type them
important.
in, type some notes in manually. Personality, you could
Yeah.
literally you could list those adjectives in there, and that's
You
a
could,
pretty
yeah, just
good
put the
like
adjectives
description.
in those sections, yeah.
Yeah, we can figure it out from there.
At level 2, I've got a couple spells.
Oh yeah, you get spells.
I've chosen Hunter's Mark, of course, and Zephyr Strike.
Oh, what does that one do?
There you go. I posted it. It's concentration bonus action spell, last minute. Once before a spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack roll. Does extra 1d8 force damage on a hit, and whether you hit or miss, you have an increased walking speed by 30 feet. You also don't take opportunity attack during that minute.
You are just determined
Nice.
not to get hit.
Yep.
And then my favored enemies. I can choose-
Minotaurs.
Bovine related creatures.
it let me choose 2 humanoid
Well,
enemies.
Did you select the Tasha's ranger though? Because that one uses, I think, favorite enemies in a different way. Does it not? Reese, you played
I have
a
no idea.
ranger
I
more
just went through
recently.
character- I'm a character man, so it just told me to pick. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Tasha's you could pick like one guy in the battle as your favorite enemy for
It seemed
that.
a lot more slick. Instead of having to
Right.
choose like my favorite enemy is human, like this certain kind of human intersect. Instead, you get to select a person.
Steve is my current favorite enemy.
Yes, I hate Steve. I really want to kill Steve. You would select that person in battle, and then you do extra stuff to it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to look up all the Tasha stuff. I thought the character monster let you choose between adding the Tasha stuff, but I'm honestly not sure.
No. Are you talking about favored foe? The first time
I think
you
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Or maybe you're already looking at it.
you can mark a favorite enemy a number of times equal to proficiency bonus.
Yes.
Yes. But you also get to choose favorite enemies, which helps you like track them, and maybe you can have better experience talking to them. I think it's more flavor text with the favorite
Yeah, it might
enemy.
be.
But I can choose 2 humanoids instead of 1 like beast or aberration. I've chosen Grung and Slod.
Well,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you
the
choose,
favored foe replaces the favorite enemy.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you want to do favored foe, that actually replaces favorite enemy. And same, there's another thing. Basically, it literally works as like an updated patch, where like you lose those original things, but you gain these new ones. So you could choose which ranger you want to be. Generally, you would probably want to pick the newer one because that's supposed to be able to fix kind of the stuff that's not used as much with the original. Because the original ranger is like you get extra bonus for like traveling through this terrain or something, and the updated one is like instead you get bonus spells or other different
Yeah, they have
things.
Depth Explorer, which you get a double proficiency in something, and then at 6th level you get to increase your walking speed by 5. Things like that instead
Yeah.
of just terrain stuff.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
the new primal awareness. Yeah, so if you search in the compendium for ranger, you want to specifically go down to where it says under rules, ranger optional class features with TCE as the book, and that will actually tell you all of the new ranger stuff that would kind of supersede the original ranger stuff. Ranger, it's a little tricky because it's the one class where they looked at and they're like, all right, not a lot of people actually play with a lot of these original ranger abilities, and it feels like an underdeveloped or an underutilized class, I guess. So they released all these updates you can do, and they added a bunch of updates for other classes too, like different things here and there that people can take. But Ranger, they did a whole like update too. So I would definitely look at doing that. I don't know which one the character monster has accepted, and it may be that they throw everything at you, but definitely look at this and see if this is an improvement.
Okay, I'll look at it.
And then the last thing we need to do is probably the most important thing for me, the DM, which is to figure out why your group is together, how you got together, and if you want to be working for an organization or something to help kind of bring you all together, because we're starting at level 2. And I also want to try to see if we can come up with an adventure or something that leveled you from 1 to 2. So, like in Tasha's, they also added the concept of the group patron, which just means you're working for a certain organization or entity as a group. So you're automatically all already motivated to be together and work for something. And obviously I can work with whichever group you choose, or if you just want to punt it to me and say, pick something, then I can go from there. Or you could, borrowing kind of from Acquisitions Incorporated, you could just be your own franchise of, adventurers or something, just be independent contractors, but you all already know each other, you work together, and maybe you're trying to, establish a foothold or something.
So, Mad582, you just commented exactly what we were talking about in the chat, which we could roll with. You guys were joking about like maybe we were like captured and put in a zoo or something, and then we
I put that as a fucking joke, and Ray was like, "I like this idea. We're all escaped zoo animals." I'm like, "No, this is fucking
hold
ridiculous.
on. No, we wouldn't be able to be like escaped zoo animals, but like maybe like it's like a collector from the MCU situation where recently we were all captured by the same person with zoo ideas in mind. Like, we were all held by some.
Technically, what Eric wrote down was that we are animals in a zoo and we got hit with ooze.
But that was just
Which
me.
that was because you put we all have our own backgrounds.
Yeah, you keep
now,
reminding me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I had that on the brain. But no, that's not gonna work for exactly what he said. You've all got your own established, like you came from different communities and stuff, so I don't want to take that away from anybody.
I can change mine.
I can be a news monster.
I was an actual bird. That is no, all of your races exist in this universe. You're all probably the lizard folk is the most common out of all of you.
Mm-hmm.
I would think. I mean, turtles exist in Schultz for the most part, but lizard folk you can kind of find. I mean, we fought lizard folk in like every campaign. Like they're just kind of around. Minotaurs are exceedingly rare. In fact, I think they weren't added until the Theros book. And they're usually monstrous enemies. So that I don't know why your character is more kind, but something we can bake into your personality. And then Kenku are also just pretty rare in this world, but everybody does exist. So how did we come together? And
I mean, what is everyone's reasons for coming out to the sea? I mean, I guess we all have different reasons. Like
so
Gottwald is really anti-piracy, which is
yeah, you have to have express written consent from the NFL and
yep,
the station
right.
for.
I guess Toro, yours is pretty clear too. Like you're proselytizing.
So something I did mention, the campaign begins near the city of Neverwinter,
Mhm.
which is one of the larger cities on the Sword Coast. You may have heard of it. And then your chosen faction or employer has led you to the seedy port town of Saltmarsh, which lies just 20 miles nearby. So it's definitely you're kind of arriving at a small port town near this larger city. Other than that, I want to try to figure out who your employer is, or maybe you don't have an employer. Again, you can be totally
Genocider company.
You can be acting independently if you wish.
They're seeing if we can set up a distribution center.
I mean, I don't know how the story starts. What if we're in a tavern,
Are you
I'm
really gonna
having
make
a
me
break.
start your campaign in a tavern? Come on.
and a fight breaks out, and the beef guy is in the middle of the fight, and
No, this is okay. So what I want to do in session 0 is actually establish that having already
Like
happened.
how? Yeah. Having already happened, and we got to level 2.
But let's do
there.
let's do that.
Right.
Like that. Yeah, we can do the meet cute if we're a rom-com of all of your, and then you've met and now you're together in something. So yeah, let's say you met and maybe you probably Neverwinter. I would assume a big city would be easier and more common for all of you to be together. It's on the coast, so we don't have to make our zealot fathomless go too far. So yeah, let's say go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna say, like, some sort of fight breaks out. Of course, the tavern brawler there that Chris plays is, of course, in the fight, and I don't know, it just starts going wrong, and the other 3 of us somehow break it up, or we stand out, and then, however this campaign starts, there's someone like at the tavern too, and he sees us.
All right, Chris. So a fight breaks out in a tavern, and Gottwald is. Did you start the fight? Are you defending? Are you protecting somebody?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it would probably be like it would probably be more of like he's almost like he's challenging someone to like an arm wrestling match or something, and that goes wrong. The other guy gets mad when he loses, and Gottwald like, all right, do you want to fight then? And they get into fucking like just boxing match, and the whole place ends up in a fight.
Okay. And we've got a.
But as Ray said, like maybe like we step in, the 4 of us step in, and like really like show ourselves as like talented or whatever.
All right.
And there's somebody there that sees us do that.
Go ahead, Heather.
We can be honest, and I probably am the one who started the fight by asking people what they would think that they would look like as they were dead and being reanimated.
It's just being super creepy with people.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Gottwald had to save you from getting punched because you were asking inappropriate questions.
Yeah, I had my little familiar. I'm just gonna go spider.
Okay.
For the familiar. And so the spider likes to crawl in between her fingers as she's just going like this, just talking to people, so it looks extra creepy.
Yeah.
But she's also very pretentious and believes that she knows much more about things than everyone else around her. And with her int score, she really does.
Yeah.
So she's just like talking down to amongst the rabble about the things that they think they know that they really don't.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm trying to
and then
convert one of the companions and don't want to see them hurt in the fight, so I try to protect them.
Just still talking about the Pathlamos when this fight breaks out.
That's right.
And Mac is there having a meal. He's taking a break from his City Watch duties, and this fight's starting up. And as part of City Watch, he tries to like break it up. He's
Oh
like, "Come on,
shit, you're on
guys."
duty.
I know I'm on duty, and come on, there's nothing that can't be solved with a big bowl of fried chicken and pizza here. Have a beer, you know. It'll be on me this time. Tries to break up the fight with the, you know, some food and drink involved. But yeah, he's on duty as part of the City Watch. Well, I was trying to take a break, but of course he steps in like, gotta keep the city in line.
That's gonna
And
be
maybe
pretty.
as part of the result of this fight, you have to leave for some reason. Like you gotta get out of town. I don't know. Like who would Eric? Who would be like there to like I don't know, see all this and to recruit us, as it were. Do you have anybody in mind?
I mean, you could work for. No, I really don't. Like, I didn't want to really push you guys into any one specific thing. I really wanted to see, did you,
we literally like pigeonholed ourselves into you meet at a tavern and
the most generic. No, but I like the fight breaking out. That's cute. It's. I mean, we could. I really want to know who you all would want to work for, or again, you don't have to work for anybody. You could be just like, we need to band together as a bunch of kind of outcasts, basically. You all obviously exist in this world. Your races exist, but you are extremely rare. Even in a big city, you're generally pretty rare, and many of you are most commonly looked at as monstrous foes, like, especially the Minotaur and the Lizard, like Minotaur and Lizard folk especially. People are more likely to have stories of how they've been attacked by one of your kind rather than talked to.
So do we end up just as part of this
I will
tavern
say
brawl?
I will say that because he works for the City Watch, you might have a connection to the town itself. You could end up actually working for you could take it all the way to the Lord's Alliance if you wanted to get involved with government work.
to start session 1, do you need us somehow like heading out to sea already, like without a particular mission? Or
no, you're not. So your mission, your starting mission, and I keep this as vague as possible, is that you are heading to a seedy port town that is about 20 miles. So basically, it's like kind of a suburb of Neverwinter. Specifically, there's a location you're being sent to check out, but the details of that could change depending on: are you being sent there as a mission because you work for somebody, or are you being sent there because you want to buy a place of your own, or like establish your own headquarters?
Maybe Mac, as part of his city guard allegiances, I don't know if this is Lord's Alliance or whatever, but gets I don't know, called out or his service noted as handling the tavern brawl, and he gets assigned to this job, and he sort of recruits us to come with him.
about something a little drearier. This tavern fight breaks out, and all the brawling and such. A small child gets hurt by one of us, and we're already regarded as monsters, and we're all the scapegoats. No one knows who actually did it, but they're all looking at us as the fight breaks.
I like that. Yeah.
We're the like kind of scariest looking, and the tavern owner, maybe it's the tavern owner's son or something, It's like
I'm making
really-
Braid DM the next campaign. That's what I'm learning right now.
This is good.
This is
I
good
like
shit
this.
right here.
And we're all like kind of freaky looking, so they're like, those four did it. Like,
Yeah.
Mm. The tavern owner's wife comes out screaming, my son, my son, my son. And the tavern owner looks at the four of us like, get out, the four of you. And then Mac's like, whoa, whoa, I'm part of the city watch here. And the tavern owner's like, I don't care. We don't want your kind here. And then they kind of get pushed out. And I don't know if... So my character does have reason to get out at some point, so I don't know if you want to hear that part, but as Mac is getting pushed, a little note slips out from his pocket, and this is where the narrator kind of zooms in. The camera zooms on the note, and it says, to Mac, I've gone in deep. Go after the grung to find me. Take this gem with you. And no thanks to anchovies from George. But that's my character's reason to start moving out, to start hunting them grong. And so I don't know if that can kickstart us.
Even though you personally don't have anything against Grung, it's just George that tells. Have you ever even
Right.
seen a
He's
Grung
like,
before?
But George said to go after them, and he's my brother, and I do want to find him. And if he says to start going after grung, killing the grung to figure out what's going on, why he's had to go deep, he will do it. He's a little gullible.
yeah, he's gullible. A letter from his brother is all he needs to just go ham.
It mentions that anchovies are gross, and so he believes it.
Okay, yeah, that's like the code word. That's all you know. It's him.
But yeah, maybe we all get pushed out, and we kind of have to leave the city at some point.
Yeah,
I know why I would go with you and go out to sea, because I just, again, anti-piracy. But why were the other two of you like agree to come with?
I have an angle for, since they're both obviously the Fathomless, and then we've got the wizard who's born under a dark star. I could definitely angle this with the, like, it would be slightly different for both of you, but you would feel some ominous sign and some pull out to sea, and it would bring you to a certain location. If you guys have something different, then we can definitely go with that, and obviously I can add some details. And then yours would be maybe the sea. What's your name? Toro. And then Sabra's, you would probably see a very creepy house.
Like a lighthouse.
It'd be a creepy like house on a cliff overlooking the sea. Just like visions you guys are getting.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Chris, what was your...
I mean, it's like he wants to get out on the sea to like hunt pirates and stop pirates. That's his whole like goal.
Yeah.
So, and he's really kind of freewheeling. Like if people are like, "Hey, we're gonna go out in the ocean," he's like, "Yeah, let's go!" Like, you know.
I'll try to hop onto the next ship about to sail out, just to get away from the leering stares of
That's
all
right. Yeah, exactly.
tavern
And
folk.
if we're unwelcome in Neverwinter because we're weirdos,
Well-
we're weird looking.
Yeah, let's say after this event, I'm still trying to figure out what got you to level 2, though, specifically. So maybe there was a bit more involved with the Neverwinter brawl or something that...
Maybe.
So
we had to fight our way out.
After this event, and George gets his note, maybe you were given a note from a courier or something that basically gave you some relatively simple task in town, but it was some, like, I don't know, some kind of dirty work that was involved in maybe like a bad part of town or something that needed your unique makeup of creatures. What task could this be that would get you guys to level 2? And you don't know who your benefactor is, but they have promised some payment for taking care of this task.
It would have to be something like non hurtful to civilians for Gutwald.
Sure.
It would have to be something that, you know, he's not going to go hurt people. Whatever.
Sure. Maybe
But it's
there's
like-
some like a very low level like crime that's happening in the docks that's starting to be like almost semi-organized. Like you think there's like a gang involved or something. And this note is kind of given to you like, hey, we have this lead on these, you know, what we think are a growing group of bandits in the docks. We would like them you know, taken care of, ideally cleanly if possible. And you have no context.
And that's probably close enough to piracy for Gotwald. Like he's
Yeah.
probably all over that. Like that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't know who this note is from, but it came with like a little advanced stipend of money, more than any of you have probably been able to earn here in the city. And it kind of happens after the events of this brawl to where it was addressed to all 4 of you.
Maybe as we're like getting pushed out of the tavern, someone slips a note in each of our pockets with this details of this mission or goal or something.
Yeah. And then you can all, you know, go down to the docks and, you know, you do some investigative legwork and track down this group of probably barely older than teens who have been, you know, stealing shit and hassling people. And you can apply your whatever your freaky set of skills are. They're not like hardened, you know, criminals or anything, but
Which would mean I forgot.
Almost
Well,
just your
it would
appearances
literally
alone.
mean like him walking in and being like, "All right, little ones, it is time to go home and stop this foolishness. If you do not want your bones broken, it is time to stop these crimes you are committing."
I mean, if you accidentally kill them, I can bring them back.
And you don't want that, do you? I don't think so.
no one wants
No,
to see
they
that
will
go.
probably like the superiority of being brought back from the dead.
Well, so I have another one, but it's totally it's sort of branching
Go
off,
ahead.
but I'm not saying it's better. You know, we're getting pushed out of the tavern. Everyone's like kind of mad at us, and we're all running somewhere, maybe towards the docks. And then, kind of like in the movies, where all of a sudden this like vigilante crew just kind of pops up and surrounds us from both sides,
Okay.
like trying to take care of us themselves.
Just thinking you're a bunch of
Like a
monsters.
mob sort of
Yeah.
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, kind of. And I don't know if they're trying to take us down, but of course we defend ourselves and get experience for that.
Level up. But maybe during that event is when you all find, you know, the mob backs off, and that's when you've all got the notes, you know, in your pocket to take care of that little bandit. Basically, just to give you some things you can do, some legwork, some simple tasks, and then upon the completion of this, which you were told to just have, there was some kind of like drop box somewhere, like a dead drop or something. So you're still not, you don't even have a contact yet. And you just kind of, you know, follow instructions. You write your names, sign your names on this little contract that's in this random Dropbox somewhere, like a false brick in a random building or something. And then the next day you see that there is like the second half of the payment, which I will figure out what that payment is, starting with our.
It'd be good. I hope it's good money because like literally I need to buy plate mail as
I
soon
need
as
to buy my
humanly
plate
possible.
In addition to the
Don't
free
you
feet,
mean
I also need plate
Minotaur
mail.
I also
Impossible?
need the max
The
armor.
max
if it's
armor,
available.
yeah.
I need the heaviest armor possible for my ship.
That's right.
Yeah, and then you are so you're given that payout, and then you're given your next mission, should you choose to accept it, which is to check out this. There's been tales of a haunted house in the small town of Saltmarsh, and you've been and this note wants you to all go check it out, do some investigation, and see what that's all about. And that is still, you have no idea who your benefactor is. And you level up to 2. Level 2.
Yes.
There were little XP potions attached as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so I've got you working for an organization. You're not quite.
We don't know who it is.
You don't know who it is, but they've already been paying you, and yeah, so far it seems to be working in your favor. You're obviously still at the very beginning of your career, but you've kind of found each other just almost for the survival aspect of it. You're all very different. Most people tend to treat you badly upon first glance. Probably the least is George, especially because George has the experience as a guard and a soldier. Or sorry, George. Fuck. Mac. Mac would be probably the most well regarded, and you also know how to carry yourself, and probably just have more social acumen when it comes to being around people in general. And George elevated the status of turtles everywhere, I'm sure. But still, like, word doesn't travel that fast in this universe, and you all have definitely experienced some forms of hardship when just being in these human cities. But this seems like a good opportunity, and so you've kind of found each other as a found family and are starting to travel together. And as your first big mission at level 2, you are arriving in the town of Saltmarsh to investigate a supposedly haunted house.
All right.
I think that's going to be the beginning of our session 1. So does anybody have any questions about session 0? Did we forget anything? Did we go through all the main stuff?
Trying to see if there's anything I forgot. But
I guess I did do some house rule updates that we can go over.
Oh, yeah, your house rule, yeah.
I kept lingering injuries the same. I know how much you guys love them, so I couldn't let those go.
Yep.
I did change massive damage slightly. Basically, it kept slowing the game down when we tried to figure out, okay, did this make the save? Did that not make the save? How does this work? I still like the idea of having the extra table with the crit hit, so massive damage only triggers on a crit.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want, we can just remove that, but I thought it was nice because it makes crits a little more sexy. So what I changed is that this table always happens. Every time you roll a crit, whether it's you or me as a monster, you also get to roll the massive damage table and apply those effects. However, I also way backpedaled on how nasty this table was. I took out stunned completely because that's really nasty pants. And in fact, a D10 is still nothing happens, basically. So the other ones, yeah, I kept the can't really take reactions. I added knocked prone because that feels like an appropriate, easy one to track. And then frightened, just a temporary frighten, which also seems appropriate. And then number 1 is frightened and you gain D8 temporary hit points.
Okay.
So hopefully that's just a little bit easier to handle with it. And again, if it becomes a pain in the ass, we can just remove the thing in general. But I like having crits with kind of an extra thing to it rather than just
it does
sometimes,
something. Yeah.
Sometimes you could roll a crit and have that extra die be almost nothing, and it just
right.
It doesn't really even come into play.
Yep. The fun ones are where the crits do less damage than
like
the last hit that you did.
Yeah. That's really sad. Missing players, no more will characters be puppeted by others. This time your character will
I mean,
disappear.
Until that fucks us up, great.
know.
But the moment that fucks us up,
You gotta trust your
you're gonna have to
DM. Trust your DM to do this. And
I will.
you gotta trust me. I will say there is a possibility that if we have a heads up and it's only one person out, maybe we could rotate one of the players from my patron games in. That's something we could throw out there. Potion drinking. This is one that I've thought about because a lot of people do potions differently.
I just realized recently that rules as written, the way a lot of people do it, is drinking a potion is a full action. I did not realize that.
Correct. So we have been,
because we never did that.
We
right?
have been
like,
doing a full-on like free action, which is kind of going maybe too far in the other way. I don't like the idea of potions being a total action either. It's just silly to me that you drink a potion as that.
Yeah.
Now Baldur's Gate does it where drinking a potion, I believe, is your bonus action.
Is your bonus, yeah.
Which is kind of nice. I don't know if I want to go even that far because that is kind of a nerf, but here's my compromise. Drinking a potion is a free action if you don't move. If you do move, then drinking a potion becomes a bonus action. That was my compromise. And, inspired by Baldur's Gate, potions can be administered to others as an action, and healing potions can be thrown up to 30 feet to heal an ally using an action. So you can still hurl potions at people and heal them. But that does take an action at that point. You can also just give it to other people as a bonus action, but that means you're just handing it to them and not like pouring it down their throats.
They're not drinking it right away. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my compromise on doing that, because I do think the complete free action potion drinking was maybe a little too far that I'm kind of pulling back on.
That's cool.
Short rests reduced from 1 hour to about 5 minutes. It just doesn't matter to me. I don't think we're ever going to really abuse short rest that much.
I mean, the only place that I feel like this helps us, and this is something that Baldur's Gate does that I actually think is 10 times better than 5e, is that there's certain spells that in the game, in 5e, are 1 hour, that in Baldur's Gate are fucking all day long.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like it just works way better for them to just be all day long.
I'm not about to start like rebalancing every spell because that's going to be a bit much.
But this does kind of solve a lot of that, where it's like, oh, can you still talk to animals? Like, yeah, I can, because the short rest is only 5 minutes long.
That's true. Yeah, I can talk to animals all day.
Yeah.
I also slightly changed spell scrolls where
we just changed spell scrolls.
We did. But I tried to make it even easier because I think there was a lot of complaints about spell scrolls. Anyone can use a spell scroll as long as you have the spell casting feature. Boom. If you have spell casting, you can use a spell scroll. Nothing else required. If you don't have the spell casting feature, you can still try to use a spell scroll, but then you have to make the check as per our rules from Rhyme.
I think I'm the only one affected here, and I'm probably not going to try to use spell scrolls.
I think so. I did this without knowing obviously what classes you guys were playing yet. So most of you will be able to use whatever spells, whatever. Although now you've got a wizard who might want to scribe spells, so that would also be interesting.
Like permanently get the scrolls.
Permanently unlock those spells, yeah.
Okay.
And then I also codified exchanging places with an ally, because that's something we've done for a couple campaigns now, and we never actually had in our rules, and I just kind of came up with, all right, it's a bonus action. So now I said, all right, by using a bonus action, you can pull a willing ally within 5 feet out of the way and take their place without triggering attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
We just never had that codified before, so that is now an official added to the house rules.
Gotcha.
I believe that was it for house rule updates. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns?
So I do actually have a question, perhaps complaint, probably not complaint. I still don't know how cinematic advantage works. Like, that was technically in place the entirety of the last campaign, but I don't think it ever actually came into place. Are we supposed to tell you that we're trying to do cinematic advantage? Or is that up to you to say it's cinematic advantage?
Trying to scroll to where it is. This is... Okay.
Because I feel like we put those rules in place, then we never ended up like remembering them.
I think time. I agree. I don't think we remembered.
I was under the impression, like with it, that it was something he was supposed to dictate out. Since like before it was we were all working on being on opposite sides, and he placed it with a cinematic advantage. that I was like, okay, well, if he sees us in these positions, he would dictate that this would
If
be
we do
cinematic
something
advantage.
cool, then we get advantage.
Yeah. And we tried, but we never got the advantage on it.
Which
Because I
yeah,
think
like,
everyone
should we call that
forgot.
out? Should we call that out? Like, we can
Yeah,
do
your
that.
DM will definitely forget things. I forget something, I think, every single session, so that is definitely part of it. I think it's both. I think players need to remember and the DM needs to remember. And it's something where if you're in combat and you say, okay, I want to do this as part of my attack. Raymond's usually really the one most commonly doing this too.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do something extra. You want to like swing from the rafters or put a crate in the way, something extra. Then we can kind of gamify that by saying, okay, give me a skill check to do this thing. And if you succeed, then that will give you advantage on your attack or whatever you're trying to do. And if you fail, then that might give you like disadvantage on the attack or something. So there should be some kind of like risk reward, I guess, concept with it.
Mm-hmm. I guess the question is it up to us to say that we're trying to do cinematic advantage?
It shouldn't be up to you if you're just describing what you want to do. I should probably remember like, okay, then give me a check for this. But I'll admit it will help me a lot if you guys can say, hey, I'm trying to get advantage on my attack by doing this.
Okay.
It's not even like we have to even say it's just like, okay, I should remember just give you a skill check, and then that should give you advantage on a thing if you succeed at this. With the caveat that if you fail at that, there should also be a little bit of a penalty there,
that
just to
goes
make
wrong,
it. Yeah, so kind of include like a risk reward concept to it. So it was one of those things that was good conceptually. Then once we started playing the game, it gets hard to remember.
We just all forgot.
I think
about
we did
it
all forget.
last campaign. It was just
Yeah, and it probably just came up organically. Like somebody wants to do something, let me roll a check to see if I can do it. That's basically what it comes down to. But
if we're all just standing there, just shooting or punching or whatever, I mean, nothing special is happening, and so it's not triggered. But I think if anytime we describe we're doing something, jumping off a balcony or something, like I think that triggers to Eric. Oh, that's something cool kind of happening. Let me, make you roll, and then
track that.
So it might have actually happened. We just never called
it.
We never called it out as cinematic advantage. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But that was
you're not going to get anything for just kind of rolling a punch and then next player sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things where if I did the sticky note that Chris did, I would put that on there as like, remember cinematic advantage. It's important.
I wonder what I'm going to use my sticky notes for this campaign, because I don't have bardic inspirations.
Spells, bardic inspirations. Yeah. Remember the horns.
That's right.
You've got all the horns.
Now, I really want to know who, because I'm the character now who can do this, who I'm going to be able to fastball special.
Well, I would throw the Kenku Warlock, because throw him in the middle of a bunch of people and then he can just explode all of his abilities. And he's also like a part bird, so it just makes sense to...
You going to be okay with that?
Free bird.
Birdman?
Of course. Always.
Tell them about your god!
Yeah, there you go.
Love the tentacle.
That's right.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's the go-to attack right there.
Yep.
Size? What size is Goth though?
I assume you're all medium, but I'm not actually sure.
Gottwald is still medium, but he's probably pushing it. He's probably 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
But you can only throw a creature smaller than you.
I did put myself as small in the...
Is Kenku small? Nice.
It was an option, so I chose it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw a creature up to... Oh, yeah. It is one size smaller than you. Yeah. Well, okay. That is true. However, at 3rd level, just...
Yugi begins himself.
I will start becoming a large creature on the regular.
On the regular.
It'll be a whole thing for him, but yes.
All right. Anything else we need to discuss in session 0? It's funny, we always think, this will be a not as quite as long session, but it still takes...
No, we take the full time.
It takes the full time to go through everything. I think everybody's character should be mostly up to par. We might have some little things we need to fix here and there, but obviously art being probably the biggest thing. We still need to add the art and the tokens and everything, but that will come for session 1. Nothing else? We're all good? We're excited about our characters?
Yeah.
This might be nitpicky, but on the massive damage, the page 9, is it just me, or does it feel like the number should be flipped? Like 10 being the high number, you frighten your enemy, and then you get the 10 hit points, and then 1 being lowest is like, oh, nothing happens.
I think the 1 is the worst for the enemy. Then I think is the logic, right?
It could be.
Because it's
I will
perspective,
say,
right?
yeah, the way it's programmed into Roll20, it literally doesn't matter what's on which scale because it's just it's weighted by how often it appears in the thing. So technically, both 1 and 10 are just in there one time, so it's the same thing in there. But
Right.
So you'll never see the actual roll number.
You'll never see the actual roll numbers, but yeah, and yeah, what Chris is saying is technically massive damage can also be against you, so then you'll want to roll a 10 on your end versus.
Okay, so when we roll, it'll just get the result. We won't actually see the number.
Correct.
I think so. Yeah, we'll hit the massive damage button and just text will pop
which
up,
I haven't put in here yet, but yes, the macro will just be it'll just tell you the result.
In that case, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. I will say, and I think I forgot about this during Rhyme, but notice the bold text says bosses and those with legendary actions are immune to massive damage. So that's my little shitty DM thing of like, you can't frighten my big bad boss, even if you do crit them. Certain enemies will be immune from the table. However, I will also admit I will probably forget about that at some point and just be excited that you critted the boss.
That's what we're counting on.
Yeah. I'm feeling nobody's going to remind me of this, though. Chad, it's your job to remind me of that.
Yeah, right.
Cool. All right. Everybody excited about session 1 next week? We'll do our kickoff session. We'll also do our first chat. There will not be a chat tonight, reminder, because this whole thing was basically a chat. We will do our first chat from the deep following next week's session. And obviously, I'll still be doing all of my normal crafting streams as well as I now panic because time is running out to figure this campaign out and get everything set up. But at least I got a pretty good idea what my characters are capable of. So I think that is going to do it for this inaugural session 0 of Call from the Deep. Thank you to Chris, Heather, Raymond, and Reese for playing and creating your characters. Thank you to all the wonderful fans for watching and the patrons, as always. Shoutouts to Platinum patrons Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brennan, Genocider, David, Eclectic, Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Brian, Corey, Koa, 1337, Big Nut, John F, John L, Scott, Eric, Tyler, Nathan, Camp Crystal Lake, Counselor, Andrew C, Daryl, the Relderin, Captain Woody 79, Jaren, RGS, Stephanie, Andrew, P01135809, and Patrick. And gold patrons, RPG Papercrafts, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Dead Lizard Lounge, Sam, Lumpy Spuds, Jerome, Nathan, Fast Like a Tortoise, Scott, Ruffus, Karen, William, Jerry, Thomas, and Prophet. Thank you all very much for your support. Live streaming our D&D adventures every week, and I'm excited to see you next time.
People are already calling us the Zoo Crew.
The Zoo Crew.
Hey, I want to know what James is going to eat now, because he said he'd eat a big nut if we were all humans, so we're not human, so what you going to eat now?
There are no humans.
Yeah. Calling you out, James. What you going to eat?
Q102, Zoo Crew.